Hey everybody, how's it going? Few quick announcements before we start, just to quickly get it out of the way. First of all, thank you guys for coming. Second of all, the website that I'm working on, it's starting to get, it's about halfway done. I still need to just port the content over there, and after that, do the Patreon integration, which leads me to the next one announcement. The Patreon is almost up. I'm still going through the review process with them because they require, you set up the page and they have to have a person look it over before they let you have it. So that's going on. And aside from that, I think, no, that's it. So just go by saying hello to everybody here. Salt is here. Hello. How's it going? Hey, Pucelle. Hey, Fluffy. How's it going? We are joined here today by, well, you know who the crew is. Let's start with the Foxman. Hello, Ryle.
Hello, Zero.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
A little hungry, but a little hunger never killed anybody.
I still haven't visited your website, by the way.
Eventually you will, you evil person. Let's see here.
We'll see.
You have the Beard Man, Master M.
Hi, hello there.
Master M is enjoying his new internet.
Welcome. Where's your avatar?
He definitely does not. I don't know why he left, though. You are back now. And we have Exodus. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Is that a new avatar yet again? I like it. I like this one.
Yeah, this one I'm standardizing now.
So does Exodus. I mean, you've had this one for a few weeks. Do you remember the time where you changed daily?
Yeah, I do.
Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? Dylan actually is gracing us with his presence. Woo!
Oh my god! Dylan's
I know.
here!
My magnificent presence is a little too much for you peasants.
Oh. Well, I thought he was too busy taking a sword in. Hey, buddy. How are you?
He was tired getting beat up.
I'm sad.
Why?
Class was canceled today.
What? The heck? Why? Is it raining or something?
No, the guy's going turkey hunting.
I mean, turkey is kind of good. I like turkey. Why didn't he invite you? Jesus.
Because then you'd have to invite the entire class.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Wouldn't want everybody and their mom to show up. Anyway.
And they too wouldn't be able to handle a magnificent presence.
Of course. It's blinding to all.
Of course.
Thank God we couldn't see you here.
I know. Your eyes would burn.
That's how all of us feel here.
Shit, I thought that was someone actually laughing for a second.
That is someone actually laughing. So we haven't read Rising Sun in a while.
So to reach
It's been a hot minute.
We read The Eye of Argon, which in itself was an adventure.
Was it good?
That's one way to say it.
It was great, but also awful and great at the same time. We had people lustfully, oh yes, whimsically,
apotheosis of bad writing.
Oh yeah. Like so many words that I've learned from this book that I probably should never use, but I just love them. Whimsically, and then lustfully killing someone, and like they kept calling Grigner a slut.
And every now and then there was a line you actually enjoyed.
There was I love the pros, but at the same time I hated it. Why would you be sad about classes being canceled? Pucel, the classes are sword classes, so you're actually learning how to fight. That's why he's sad.
I'm about to say, it's not like I'm taking math or something.
Yeah,
I would be sad if math was canceled.
yeah, you would. I'm sorry. Okay, so Jon Snow flew out of. Okay, he defeated Euron Greyjoy, and I said it in that way specifically. Lustfully defeated Euron Greyjoy, saved Japan. They had that little celebration, and then he flew to Westeros and went to Ashara Dane and asked if she was his mommy. Right?
Are you my mommy?
Wait. You forgot. He was let into the lady's presence with no guards.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
After threatening the guards.
After threatening the guards, they let him in through without any issue. That's right.
Did he also carry his weapons still?
Yes, he still has his weapons.
Okay. That's right. I almost forgot that part. I repressed it just like I repressed my childhood trauma. Wait, I probably shouldn't have shared that with you guys. Anyway. The rising sun. As usual, Dirk is going to make us horrified.
He's going to amaze us.
Hopefully, we'll see. And yes, I did say sword classes, which Dylan is taking. If you don't know who Dylan is, he's Lord Mandalore, or the dude in the server with the weird lettering that you will never understand, even if you look at it as hard as you can.
Everyone understands it. It's magnificent.
I don't understand it.
Whatever you tell yourself to sleep at night.
And it's not just swords. It's historical European martial arts. Grappling, swords, spears, axes.
Wait, the writing of your name in the Discord is European martial arts?
No. The class.
Oh,
the writing of the Discord is Dylan, Conduit of Gods, Manslut.
Is that what it says?
Yes.
The heck is that font? You gotta link me to that font so I can just make a name for myself that way. Actually, no, I shouldn't.
Runic. It's runic. It's not a font. It's runic.
Runic what?
It's a language.
Where do I find it?
It's a writing system.
Online.
It doesn't help. I don't want to Google Runic and look through 10 different things. Oh,
I'll send you the link.
Well, too bad.
Thank you.
Lazy.
You're kind. I've also done something smart and opened up my YouTube live chat itself, because sometimes people say something and it doesn't go on the StreamYard's chat thing because Google suppresses it. So just in case I miss something, I'll look there.
How do you know Google represses it and not StreamYard?
Because repressed messages, if there's a message repressed, the people who are moderating / the people who own the channel are given the choice to view or not view, like show or not show. That's what I want to say. Derp.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but Borealis wants us idiots to read.
Of course, weeboo Jon Snow. That's right. We need to begin here because it's already been 10 minutes and I still haven't started. Anyway, yeah, this chapter doesn't seem too long. Okay, you guys ready?
As ready as I'll ever
Of
be.
course.
I'm ready.
Rising Sun. Nice to meet you, Ready. By Dirk, and full of errors.
He certainly
Chapter-
is.
Yes. Chapter 10. Siblings. By the way, how was my voice? I noticed one of the streams my voice was like a double voice that's not really good. Is it good here?
It's okay.
Sounds good on my end.
Is okay good, or is okay horrifying but I can accept it?
It's okay.
This chapter title does not fill me with confidence knowing the tags of this story.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Notes. Sorry for the wait. My bad. What is he? Is he tuning in on our stream or something?
That's
Oh no. Okay. Good news is that updates should be out a little quicker now. With that all said, enjoy. Don't you worry, Dirk. Don't you worry.
It's kind
I'm
of
gonna
funny
enjoy
how
this.
a gap in his updates intersected with a gap in the stream.
That is pretty cool. I like how I checked on previous streams and I was like, we should do it. We should do a poll to see if anyone wants me to do anything other than this story. And then I never actually did the poll because I just got busy. I'm no longer gonna make promises I probably can't keep because I feel bad about it. I still feel bad about it. All right, time seemed to drag on endlessly as he awaited her answer with bated breath. The look of shock and confusion taking over the woman in front of his very eyes. He just hoped he'd not fucked this up with how tactless he'd been with his loaded question. No, was her answer. Aw, she's not his mommy.
Wait. Is that the actual word he used?
Well, she said, "Are you my mother?" But
Okay.
I mean,
It's Are You My Mommy?
the reason I do it like that is because literally twice every chapter he makes a comment about how his mom is dead and how everything sucks, right?
That's what you should have titled the stream, Are You My Mommy?
I mean,
And he always rages that Ned never told him who his mother was.
oh yeah, always hating his uncle for not telling him, etc.
Well, he doesn't know he's his uncle yet.
No, was her answer. That one word. Who would think one word could do so much damage? A spirit of the heart, a hope, ripped apart in front of his very eyes. Jesus Christ. All right. He looked up at her eyes in the hopes it was a slip of the tongue. Gonna slip that tongue somewhere though. Okay.
Well, with the tags he's got, I'm not.
Look, I'm not surprised if it would happen. Yeah. An involuntary reaction.
Master M probably.
Look, let's not. You think we'll ever see Master M again?
I mean, he's on the chat right now.
Oh, I mean, not our Master M, but I meant Master M in this story. I hope we'll see him again so we can just make fun of him.
We'll see him when he comes to King's Landing to slap someone.
Probably won't, but hopefully. An involuntary reaction to seeing her son for the very first time in 17 years. Almost like she couldn't believe who was standing right in front of her very eyes. Instead of seeing that, all he saw was a look of determination, and to Jon, annoyance. Are you sure? He asked, and instantly regretted what he said.
Jon! Boy!
Are you sure you're not my mom? Pascal says, I remember Master M. Fun times in fake Japan. Yeah, there were some pretty good times.
No, it wasn't fake Japan. It was weeb Japan.
Zero,
Real Japan.
You need that quip of New Kratos saying "boy."
Boy. I need to find that clip, and then I probably need to cut it just to say "boy." Jon annoyance. Okay, a pretty hard thing to miss. Yeah, Jon. Yeah. God damn it, Jonathan. The annoyed look grew on her face. Yep, he fucked up. You know what? This reminds me of. You guys ever seen Whitest Kids You Know with the Lincoln skit? Nah, you fucked up.
Oh.
Am I sure? She asked in a low tone of voice. She shook her head. Is this some sort of jape? Who are you? Did my brother send you in some form of joke? She asked.
Where did Dylan go?
Probably lost connection. He'll be back.
In some form of joke.
Yep, he's back. Remember,
That's
Dylan
accurate. He is a joke.
is on his phone, so
Yeah.
he's
he doesn't
at
have a
times.
computer.
Correct.
It's not my
He
fault.
knew. I mean, true. He knew he needed to start this whole thing off with a fresh start. He needed to start this whole thing off with a fresh start. You are starting. I forget, like, however bad Eye of Argon was, at least it didn't just repeat itself constantly.
It wasn't a redundant story of redundancy.
Was Nobunaga the Lord of the Weird Army, or was it Urine Greyjoy? It was Urine Greyjoy. That's right. We're gonna keep referring to him as Urine because he does not deserve to be called Euron. Euron is the crazy dude that kills people and is actually frightening and not a joke.
No. Euron was the guy that said finger up the bum.
Oh no, that's your
No.
that's Urine. No, how dare you? Yeah, you.
No.
How dare you?
You made me feel. I'm not at all fond of this.
I'm not fond of this.
He breathed in and shook his head. No, this isn't a joke. And I think we've got off on the wrong foot. My fault entirely. He cleared his throat. My name is Jon Snow. I'm Lord Eddard Stark's... He didn't get to finish as he was abruptly interrupted. Ned Stark. Don't ever mention that man's name in my presence ever again.
Wait, why is she calling him by his nickname then?
Don't forget Ned Stark, the Quiet Wolf. Lyanna's
Oh yeah,
brother.
no, it's in conversation. Let's wait until we actually mention him in narration.
Okay, fine.
Wait, what insult did she use?
He didn't use any insults. He just said she called him by his nickname.
Why is she using his nickname if she's so pissed off at him?
Yep. Probably because she isn't. Don't ever
She's a
mention that
soon-soon.
man's. What is it?
I said she's a soon.
Probably is. Yeah. Old fling, perhaps. Yeah, probably. Damn, this story is dumb. Yep, we haven't even done like what 3 paragraphs. We've done like yeah, we've barely done anything, and it's already stupid. Amazing, yes. Don't ever mention that man's name in my presence ever again. She fumed, momentarily taking Jon by surprise. The man is nothing but a liar and a coward, she continued. She looked back at him, fury in her eyes. Now was not the time to be oddly aroused by this force of a what?
Goes from "Are you my mommy?" to aroused by her.
So just consider this for a second. In a single minute of time in the story, a single minute has passed since he asked if she was his mom, right? And he went from that. I see why they call him Rising Sun, because it just keeps rising for no actual reason.
he just has a hate boner for Ned Stark. And nobody found someone else who has a hate boner for Ned Stark. That's what arouses him, apparently.
Their shared hate is fueling his hate boner.
Agreed. Like, I can't make this up. Like, I personally cannot write anything like this. Impossible. She's not your mother. She said so herself. There's nothing odd with admiring this fiery Dornish woman. Oh, no.
That's great.
Oh.
And I'm guessing you're his son, the one he had outside his and his wife's marriage bed? She guessed. You can say bastard, you know. It's actually funny how little that word or what it means affects me anymore, he said with a grin. He appreciated the way she worded the circumstances of his birth, but the subtlety was unneeded at this point. The word had lost its edge and couldn't be used as a weapon against him anymore.
I don't think she was being very subtle.
No.
That's not
Didn't
subtle.
he, like 1 or 2 chapters ago, still reject a woman just because he was thinking, I don't want to have another bastard or something?
Correct. Just let that sink in for a second. Just, take in the silence and just...
What
Now
great
that that's sunk in?
characterization.
Indeed. He just flip-flops. It's funny. Like, some characters go in an arc, some are badly written and go in a cycle, some are horribly written and just jump between every part of the cycle and they don't even care.
It's rather ironic he flip-flops like a fish when he hates the cunt.
Yep. The Lady Thunder cunt. Anyway, I like how he talks about how it doesn't affect him anymore, and then there are an extra 3 lines saying how it doesn't affect it anymore. The word doesn't mean anything to me anymore. The word doesn't mean anything to me anymore. This is what's going on here. Like, so many words could have been...
Word padding.
Yeah, you could have just deleted this entire part and nothing would have changed. She looked annoyed at his reply. I know I can say that word. I just choose not to. It's a horrible word in the first place, and the way it's used is meant to be demeaning. Oh, okay. You started to like this
imposing
woman.
your modern sensibilities on a fantasy medieval world.
Notice that he's imposing them only on the women, and aside from that, the Rhaegar
And John.
and Jon.
Now, see, that means he's not just imposing modern sensibilities, he's imposing sexist modern sensibilities.
Well, all the men who seem to have these sensibilities are kind of weak sauce. Rhaegar is a shell of his former self. Jon is a joke. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
All right, so he's starting to like her.
There, but he keeps whining about his mom.
Is the mountain still alive?
I think so.
We need the mountain. We need some good old mountain.
Yeah, we just need this story needs a good old
Head popping.
head popping, tooth popping. Literally everything he hits pops out. He only just realized something though. Wait, so you've met Ned Stark before? He asked. Wait a second. Don't ever mention that man's name in my presence ever again. You've met Ned Stark before?
Didn't he ask if she's
Are you my mother? Wait, you've met him before?
That too. I didn't even realize that because it just didn't register. Wait. Okay, just give me a second here. I just needed a moment to cope with that. I'm sorry, guys. So I can't. I'm sorry. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Let me just copy and paste this. Just copy this and
You
put it
need
in
to
the
put the
dumpster.
"Are You My Mother" clip right in front of it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Let me. I'll need to. Oh crap! I think I unshared the screen, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
It'll be fine.
She'll be right. Share screen yet again. Chrome tab, the rising sun, share. There we go. Anyway, let me open up this thing here. Copy paste this link. And then go to the previous chapter. Go to the bottom. Are you my mommy? Copy that. Go on the dumpster fire. This is a lot of work.
But it's needed this time.
That was just
That's done. And then close this out and go back to here. You only just realized something though. Have you met? Wait, so you've met Ned Stark before? Copy. Anyway, back to the stream. Now that we've accomplished this, we can keep going. La Pucelle says, I mean, getting aroused by tsunderes is a thing. Tsundere MILF, something there. Yes and no. I mean, I could recommend something that you could watch if you like, but
No,
maybe-
you're on
What?
YouTube. You can't recommend it.
I mean later. We have a not safe for work channel on the Discord. It's amazing how quick he got over the whole mother thing. I'm as amazed as you are, but like, this is particularly ridiculous. Yeah,
I
he'd
was
heard
right
the rumor.
in the tags.
He really were. He'd heard the rumors before. The rumors. Okay, let's say it twice. Of him being smitten with the lady right in front of him, but that's all he thought they were. Rumors. Why would you even go and see her?
Here?
It seems the plot thickens, he thought to himself. No, only one thing thickened in this entire thing so far.
Oh, I just realized her daughter is going to be Ned Stark's bastard daughter. And the
Most
title
likely.
is because
You
Jon's
only
going to say
just
she's
realized that?
his half-sister.
Yeah,
You only just realized that?
well, he didn't. He forgot that there was a daughter in the previous chapter. Most
Yes,
likely.
yes, I did.
The same thing happened to me, man. Like I forgot there was a lady that was looking at him and stuff, and
I'm
I
even more
remembered
right
it.
to mention the tags.
And she was blushing when she was looking at him.
Yes, she was. Now he really saw the anger spew from her entire being. Met him. That man was supposed to be my husband. The promises we made to each other didn't seem to be even worth their weight in piss to that man. The rebellion happened, and I wasn't even an afterthought to him. She growled out. John's probably getting even more aroused from this. She wasn't done either. Ooh, still going. She's still going, buds. The last thing that man ever said to me was his promise to me. He promised he would talk to his father, promised he would make his father agree to the secret betrothal we'd mutually agreed on. She sat back down on her desk and sighed. Ooh, she sat. I like it. We were in love.
Just
Or
on
more-
next.
Oh dear. Horrifying. Thank you for that. We were in love, or more specifically, I was in love like the fool I was. Evidently, he'd gotten what he wanted and completely forgot about me shortly after. She finished. Still
So
processing what.
Just a reminder, this guy just showed up, asked if she's his mother, then said that he's the son of Eddard Stark, and she immediately tells him all of this.
Oh yeah, she's completely fine with it. Why would she even let him in the castle if he wasn't related in any way to her?
And
That's my
without guards.
Without guards, with all of his weapons. I forgot if he's wearing weeb armor, but I know he has 2 weeb katanas made of dragon steel, which is stronger than Valyrian steel. In case you didn't know.
And he's got 2 Valyrian steel swords.
And yeah,
What-
he's got 2 Valyrian steel swords as well, on top of everything else.
Yeah.
If he killed Euron, shouldn't he have gotten his Valyrian steel armor?
It wasn't
I think-
mentioned.
I think he didn't have it yet at that point. I'm not sure.
Euron
Yeah.
did not have it. So Jon is not wearing samurai armor. I'm sure he'll be given samurai armor at some point. Maybe. We'll see.
He has a dragon. What would he need protection from?
That
Scorpion
sentence
bolt.
was so. There's so much wrong with that sentence that you just said.
Yep.
Yeah.
A dragon does not make you invincible. Even an 80-foot tall crystal dragon that can breathe Godzilla blasts. Still processing what she'd said. He still asked what he probably knew the answer to. And what was it he got from you? She looked up at him like he was stupid.
He is
He
stupid.
kind of is.
Like he was stupid. All right, Dirk. Do I really need to spell it out for you? A good-looking lad like you must have had some action with the ladies. Loved them and left them, no doubt.
They don't speak like this.
Some action with the ladies. I like how the assumption is because he looks good, he must be getting laid all the time because, you know, that's totally what happens.
The better assumption would be, you know, he looks wealthy.
Yeah, like if you have money, I mean, even then, it raises the probability that you're getting laid, right? It doesn't mean that you're getting laid. You might be like, I don't know, it might be like me. I don't care about getting with ladies. Like, it doesn't matter to me. There are some people who just obsess about it, but some people don't even care.
Right?
I mean, to be fair, you don't need to obsess about it if you got money.
That
There's
too.
brothels all over the place in Westeros.
That too. Loved them, left them, no doubt. Just like your father, I suppose. Oh, she pushed the button.
Okay, Snape.
Strutting about the castle, just like your father.
Oh,
My
God.
father didn't strut. Why?
Oh, Snape. Rest in peace. She said, bitterness laced in every word. Don't compare me to that man. I'm nothing like him. He almost shouted out. Oh, I had it right. I didn't even read this part, and I had it right. She had the decency to look down in shame. Sorry, don't listen to me. I shouldn't be taking out on you. The man is full of secrets, and if you're going around asking people if they're your mother, I'm guessing he's been keeping secrets from you as well. She said, as she looked on him as she looked on at him in pity.
So now he's shouting at her and she feels bad for him.
Yeah, like
Really?
she lets him in with all of his weapons. He basically ruins her day, and he has the audacity to shout at her for having a logical reaction.
Threatens the guards.
Threatens the guards, yes.
She still lets him in to a private audience with his weapons.
Wouldn't the guards hear him shouting from out the door?
Oh yeah, most likely. Like I'm surprised nobody has just burst in the room just yet.
Did the guards even stand outside the door, or did they just leave and fuck off?
I think they're outside the door, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just left. Like if you know, the scene ends and they exit the room and the guards aren't even there, it's probably, you know, just eating lunch or something.
I mean, if she's running her castle that way and lets random strangers in with weapons, and
Could
giving
very
her-
well be.
It's
You're
a
right.
miracle she's not dead yet.
Yep. I fully agree with all of these. Let me check the chat here. Okay, no hidden messages. All right. 17 years I've been alive, and every time I've asked him about my mother, he said he'd tell me when the time was right. I got bored of waiting for him to decide when that was, and just left. Best decision I've ever made, he said.
Wasn't he 15 2 chapters ago?
Time passed, I guess, because you know he
There's been a lot of time skips.
for like
Yeah,
six
but
months. What?
He turned 16 on the way to Japan, remember?
Yeah, and then he spent time there, and then it took him.
he was 14 when he left Westeros.
Oh, he was 15 when he left.
What
No,
was
I'm
14?
I'm thinking was 14.
I think
You
he was
got
14.
okay. You might be right. I honestly forgot. Let's just assume that he's right. Even then, it's kind of stupid when you say something like this. 17 years I've been alive. It's like when I hear like 13-year-olds talk about their experiences. Like you haven't experienced anything yet. Calm down.
Do they use years in Westeros?
No,
Yes.
they say name days.
I'm about to
Like
say.
they'll use years like in general, but name days is when they're talking about age.
Yeah,
Do they say 17 or 10 and 7?
10 and 7 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, to
is
be
it,
fair,
or do they only say that for age and for like the number is 17? Do they have distinction between those?
no, they say 10 and 7 because the numbers just don't go like that far. I mean, they kind of do, but it's assumed that they say 10 and 7. But to be
Or
fair,
7 and 10.
7 and 10.
But to be fair, this is a modern retelling of the classic A Song of Ice and Fire.
But even then, it's not like I say 10 and 7 or 7 and 10, do I? I think this is just a shorthand just to make it easier to write.
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's
go with
what?
that.
This one I can
Yeah.
forgive.
It's nitpicky, okay, but let's move on.
I don't want to move on. Just because you said I have to move on, no, I don't want. Let's keep looking at this.
To be fair, we're literally doing for fan fiction what Cinema Sins does, and that's nitpicky as hell.
That's fair.
Sure.
CinemaSins does get a little ridiculous with their nitpicks. You're right. I
Maybe
agree
we
with this.
should be as ridiculous as possible with ours then.
I mean,
We don't have to.
yes. There it is. Oh yeah, I have to put this here there because it's nice. Anyway, she gave him a smile. No regrets? She asked. This reminds me of the tattoo. No regrets.
No regrets.
The only regret was not personally telling my siblings I was leaving. He shook his head. It was necessary, though. If they got wind of my plans, I would have been watched like a hawk, and I would have never found the opportunity to leave. Bro, even then you could defeat 3 guards with your fists alone.
You could have fought your
Wait.
way out of the castle with
Washed
what
like
we've been told about your skill.
Washed like a hawk? I think he means they would have watched me like a hawk.
Oh, he said he would have been watched like a. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. I understand what you're trying to say. The expression is written wrong because of this particular way of him talking. Like he should have just said they would have walked me like a hawk. Because you aren't watched like a hawk. Someone is watching you like a hawk. But yeah.
But maybe they keep hawks. You don't know.
No, they keep ravens.
Want me to keep you at the top of a tower and just like destroy the floor underneath you or something? Like is that what it is?
Well,
Shara. If I want what?
if you want to keep a prisoner, that's the way to do it. And then use a
Yes.
pulley system to bring them their food.
Just make sure they cut their hair.
Oh no, I just realized what that reference was. Yeah.
Well,
Even their pubic hair.
I mean, you got to make sure John cuts his beard or he can use that beard power.
Oh yeah. His
I mean,
amazing.
the beard power is strong.
Even my beard is better than Jon Snow's beard. It's not even a particularly good beard.
The beard power got me 2 free months of internet.
Hell yeah. Should change your name to 2 months of internet. Master Miyagi, Master of Months of Internet, something like that. We gotta workshop that. That wasn't good at all. Never mind. I'm sorry. Anyway, she left her desk and moved over to a cabinet at the side of the room. I'm guessing Yep, wine. She picked up a decanter and poured them both a glass of red wine. Dornish red, he assumed. Are you close with your brothers and sisters? She asked as she handed him a glass. He took the glass and thanked her. Thanks. Yeah, we were close. I'd like to think we still are. I love them all unconditionally and would do anything for any one of them. I just hope my time away hasn't soured our relationship. He finished as he necked the entire glass. The burn in his throat welcomed. Whoa.
Wait,
He's
what?
such a man.
Since when does wine burn?
Since he doesn't drink a lot of alcohol.
I don't think this dude even drinks.
Weak.
He's probably heard that alcohol burns and just assumes it's true for all alcohol.
Like,
I mean, it is true.
it stings a little bit, I guess. Wine isn't that strong. Like, that's why people drink it.
Yeah, but if you usually never drink alcohol, you really notice.
Yeah, the first time, yes, it burns, but this ain't the first time. They made him drink sake, remember?
Sake
True.
burns more than wine.
Welcome back, Exodus.
Yeah, I just had
All good. He necked the entire glass. Okay. She quirked an eyebrow as he went. Refilled his glass. If you love them and the feeling is mutual, then I imagine they just miss you, she said as she took a sip from her glass. I bet your father misses you as well,
Wait.
and maybe even Lady Stark in some sense, she said, but it sounded more like a question.
When did this turn into a counseling session?
Okay, so this scene in this small section that here, like you can tell, like, I haven't even scrolled all that much. He went from asking if she's his mom, getting his little thing rising.
Getting a little rising sun.
Yep. Junior Rose.
Something
And
picky.
Way to go, Junior.
way to go, Junior. That's right.
And she pressed your father button.
Yeah, he pressed the net button and she pressed your father button, and now she's counseling him.
Oh, and he shouted at her.
Oh, they've swapped life stories.
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
swapping life stories. That's right.
They're going to be
So-
screaming against the desk before this is over.
I mean, God, he's probably gonna screw the bastard daughter.
Probably.
It does have incest as a tag, so.
He snorted as he returned to his seat. I couldn't care less if Lord Stark misses me. He made his choice. I made mine. It's up to him to live with those choices the same way I've lived with mine, he said. Wow.
Edgy.
And Lady Stark, Ashara said with a mix of intrigue and anger.
The Cutland.
Lady Cuntlin, the thunder cunt.
I wonder if he's going to call her that.
He let out a laugh. Lady Stark, that woman is a fart in a hurricane when it comes to the bigger picture. So, Lady Thundercut, Lady Cuntlin,
Lady
fart in a
cunt,
hurricane.
Stark, the thunder cunt, a fart in a hurricane.
You know, the fish, all of his insults against the fish.
Do
So,
they have
yeah.
hurricanes in Westeros?
I mean, they probably did, but I don't
They
know
probably
if
don't
they...
call them hurricanes.
Yeah, they probably call them bad weather, I guess. Storm. Yeah, the storm.
The storms that hit the stormlands.
Yeah, like they don't call them
That would make
hurricanes.
sense.
Granted, she didn't need...
Born.
Yeah, Stormborn, that's right. She didn't need to be nice to her husband's bastard, but she could have at least treated me with an ounce of humanity. Do they say human in Westeros? I forget.
I don't think so.
Let's assume they do. He chuckled. I thought I hated her. I really did. But the few years spent away from her has made me realize that I just tolerate her existence.
You tolerate her existence? Wow.
Alright.
Like
I think
like at
Oh
one
no,
point.
it still sounds kind of bitter. That's more than just tolerating her existence.
The edge is strong with this one.
Remember the first scene of him was running into Lady Catelyn and calling her cuntlin to her face.
Is this the one where he smacked her?
I don't think he smacked her.
no, he never smacked her, but he did talk trash on her.
Yeah.
Just called her Lady
She
Cuntlin, but
she smacked him when he called her cuntlin.
Yeah.
Why are they talking personal stuff? They just met. Is this an RPG? It feels like a visual novel, I swear.
Also the next line. That's a follow-up.
The kind of RPG where a person divulges their life story after you invade their home in order to smash all the pods. Yep, pretty much. This is exactly it.
I mean, he's
So they
not
talk.
wrong.
Hey, he's definitely right. I was actually thinking about doing a visual novel at some point in the future. Because I know my friend Rain is working on making a visual novel engine. So I was thinking if I could probably help him with creating that and then probably making a story with it. So that's something that I could probably do in the future.
That'd be
Nice.
interesting.
And like I don't, how do those work? Do you like give people the choice to do something and then they make the choice and then you create a plot based entirely upon that choice?
Yeah,
All right.
I think that's how it works.
Sounds incredibly difficult because you'd have to make 5 trillion plots.
Oh yeah.
And again,
It's more like there would be around 3 or 4 choices, and depending on the the choices they make, you get each points for those 4 endings, and the ending which has the most points happens.
okay, so a point system which leads. Okay, that makes it actually much easier.
I was
Because-
imagining those R.L. Stein choose your own scare books.
I was imagining the choose your own adventure novels.
Those
Isn't
are
that what
harder.
visual
Those are
novels
way
are?
harder.
I could probably do it, but it would take a lot of. Would need a lot of
And
time to do it.
and imagine the storage you required for storing the thing.
What do you mean?
The memory, like there will be a lot of it's a visual novel. You'll need to illustrate each of those scenes, right?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be that much. Illustrations are
shorter the story, it would be better.
Well, I mean, I also know how to optimize file sizes, so that's not much of an issue. I also yesterday I got a one terabyte SSD, so I'll be fine on that end. I still haven't installed it in my computer. That's probably something I'll do tonight, assuming I still have a SATA cable. Probably do. Anyway, we're getting off track here.
Very.
Don't forget copious amounts of drugs and some H scenes. And yep, I could probably. I mean, I don't know about multi-million. I don't see the issue with making a multi-million franchise is that you need advertising. The issue with me is that I don't have the money to pay for advertising, so I'm basically essentially just putting my content out there and just letting people look at it on their own time, and it eventually shows up in their feeds. I'm not actively paying ad campaigns. I probably should start doing that, but the funny part is, even without ad campaigns, I'm already way beyond literally anyone else in the field. Well, not anyone else, but I'd say 85%. The remaining 15% actually use advertising. But advertising is a really difficult thing to do. You have to actually know what you're doing, because it's not just like you pay, I don't know, $1 for the advertisement, and if somebody clicks it, they take 50 cents or something. Like, you can do that, but it won't lead anywhere. You have to figure out what keywords to use, what what priority to give your story, how long you want it to go, if you should be talking to people that will what's the word I'm looking for here? Promote your content, which you'll have to pay them as well. Nobody will ever review your story for free unless they have one of those review channels and they just have free time and they just look up a story on a website and just, oh, this looks interesting, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff to do. I'll say that much. Honestly, it'd be much easier. It would have been much easier if I just made the story a Patreon exclusive story and just did direct to consumer, which I kind of regret, but at the same time, it's already done. Like I'm not gonna do the thing where I'm gonna put the story on Patreon now after I put the book up on Amazon, because that's kind of bad. I feel like I'm taking advantage if I do that. But yeah, back to Rising Sun. Something about angry husband. Okay. Didn't Lord Stark speak up about your treatment? Ashara asked. She looked rather annoyed.
She hasn't not looked annoyed in this scene.
Yeah, her base state is resting bitch face.
Snape face.
Hell yeah. Potter. He shrugged his shoulders as he took a sip of his wine. Wasn't he chugging it just now? Anyway, he tried, but what could he really
refilled
do?
it.
Oh yeah, she did, you're right. Take his wife for his bastard side of the argument. He grinned, which seemed to catch Ashara by surprise. She must think I'm mad. I was the worst shit to her in my last few months there. The way I saw it, I had nothing to lose, he said. The last day I was there, she struck me across the face for something I said. Oh, she slapped him.
Yeah.
That's right, I forgot about that. He smiled as he looked out the window that was across the room, deep in thought. I need to read this in a redneck accent. All right. She ever does that again, I'll break every bone in that fucking universe. He finished. I saw that. I decided it needed to be read in that way.
Oh,
I mean-
God. I can hear my uncle saying that exact line.
I mean, now Jon is so overpowered that if she slapped him, she'd break her hand anyway.
Yeah, she'd break her hand as she slaps him. That's right. The impact would just destroy her. Let's see. Aren't any good Western visual novels? Joke visual novels like the KFC dating sim, or what could come to mind? Yeah. The issue, there is room, but advertising, man. It's all about advertising. It doesn't matter how good your story is if no one actually gets to see your story. Because anything you see in front of you, if you go right now on Amazon's front page, it's usually stuff that's being advertised. They never really show stuff that's just sitting around. Like, the only way you find my book is if you specifically look for it. I can't put it in front of your eyes unless I pay for it, which I'm reaching the point where I can start doing that comfortably and not worry, but it's still a way off. Solid. Hopefully everything goes well. I am very optimistic. Okay, break every bone in the Handlers. Master M's uncle can definitely say this, right?
Unfortunately.
Is he the flat earther? Or
No, that's one of my sister's boyfriend.
oh, okay.
She gonna slap him so hard it makes the earth flat.
I like it. He looked back at Ashara, who seemed to have been taken aback by his little outbreak. Sorry, not something you really want to be hearing, is it? He said. She shook her head. No, it's fine. She sounds like a wonderful person, she said. She looked down at her lap and stared at her hands, brow furrowed in deep thought. Whatever it was she was thinking of, it seemed... Whatever it was she was thinking of, it seemed she'd made a decision with deep breaths she took and released. What? He sounds like Rorschach here. Look, I can see that you aren't Lord and Lady Stark's biggest fan, but you care very much for your siblings, she said. He didn't like the serious look she had on her face, almost like something was about to happen. The dragon steel
Something happening
dagger.
already.
Like, I'm not sure what the heck. The dragon's steel dagger belted around his right ankle. He'd been gifted by one of the rescued daimyo of Yurin's ship was a reassurance. He nodded as he saw Ashara visibly swallow. Oh, what is she gonna say here? I'm gonna tell you something, and before I do, you need to know I had my reasons, she said. Okay. He even says it. Jon was getting anxious. Okay, he replied. You were one of those reasons, she said. Now he was just confused. It must have shown on his face, because she was quick to explain. I thought me and your father were in love with each other. That turned out not to be the case. He got what he wanted and left me to fend for myself after the rebellion. She shook her head. I understand he wanted to get his sister back, but I'll never forgive him or House Tully for what they did. Reed from House Tully or Ned just neglecting to tell anyone of our betrothal caused me so much anger and resentment, she said. She was practically shaking with emotion.
You know, why is that what caused resentment? Ned allegedly killed her brother.
Not in this.
Not in this. Remember, he's alive here.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He needs to shut up, though. He never... Sir Arthur Dane, the quiet. All right? All right.
The silent shadow.
Silence chat. He does not speak. If he speaks, you slap him in the mouth.
He
Or
only
break him
speaks
like
when it's
Rihanna.
important.
All right. She took a calming breath. There's so much breathing here. Like, I understand using the terms breathing and take a deep breath, etc. every now and again. But not constantly. It ruins the flow. Before she spoke again. And then news came of your existence, and all was lost. You were evidence of what I didn't think Lord Stark was capable of. He was so kind and sincere when we first met, and all the way up to the last day we saw each other. Evidently, that was all an act that I fell for so easily, like the young, naive girl that I was. I couldn't believe I'd found a man who saw me for more than just my looks. Wasn't she dancing with Barristan in the...
I think so.
I think Barristan liked her, but it wasn't mutual, if I remember correctly.
Okay,
Hell.
it might have been that.
Barristan liked her even in the canon.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but Barristan's a Kingsguard.
I mean, I know, but it was nice. She looked away from him as he saw the moisture building in her eyes. The moisture. This is like orbs,
I mean,
in a way.
so was Jamie, so...
Yeah. In a way, he was the worst because I fell for it. Jon couldn't believe what he was hearing. He knew his father had secrets, but he didn't know he had this many. Turns out Lady Ashara had her own when she spoke again. With the stories you've been telling me, with the way you were treated growing up, I made the right decision with what I did. She would have been taken away from me the same way you were taken away from your mother, and she would have hated every minute just like you did. Now, he was really confused. She? Who's she? You know, maybe the girl you saw like...
Jon, you
fucking
are
10
so
minutes.
slow.
He's a dumbass.
Remember, he needs a book to point everything out.
That's right.
Yeah.
The
because
the book didn't say it.
Yeah. He's like Hermione.
Uh,
Well, that's a little insulting to Hermione.
Yeah, true.
yeah, it is. The next words that came out of her mouth were shocking, to say the least. Shocking to who? My
He's like,
daughter.
"Bro."
Your half-sister was all that was said. His eyebrows shot up at that. The room was silent for a few moments as he tried to get his head around what she just said. Her daughter, his half-sister. He had so many questions to ask Ashara. Does Lord Stark know about her existence? She just said...
Obviously not.
She literally just said no, he doesn't.
I made the right decision. It would have been taken away from me.
Boy.
My boy.
Just, if I had a camera, you'd have just seen me like just palm my face there. I'm still palming it. All right. Okay. God. The amount of stupidity in this particular line here. I mean, beyond belief. All right. If he did, then why didn't he tell any of them about it? He doesn't know. Can he beat the sister of it? Okay, finally, a question that is actually
He
practical.
already met her.
Well, he has. I mean, I meant properly meet, but yeah.
Now, remember, if they get together, it's not as wrong because they aren't siblings; they are cousins.
It's not wrong if they ain't brother and sister.
I'm preparing you for his responses in the comments.
Yeah.
I mean,
The questions ran through his head. What?
but he doesn't know that yet, that they are cousins, so...
Yeah, he's going
She's still-
full on Alabama.
I mean, even still, Rainey's is in the tags as one of the pairings.
Yeah, obviously. Incest is also in the tags.
Questions.
then
I wasn't
remember-
ready for incest so early. That's what I was saying.
Then remember, he's a Targaryen.
That's right.
Therefore, it's okay.
The questions ran through his head like a stampede. It would seem that one of his questions would be answered straight away. Would you like to meet her? Ashara said. He nodded. I would love to meet my sister. This is so robotic. Would you like to meet her? I would love to meet her.
Just cut it off, and I would love to.
The
Or just
droids in
yes.
Star Wars have more emotion than this.
Yeah. He responded with a smile he couldn't stop. It would seem that his answer was the right one as a smile lit up Ashara's face in response.
Hey, she's finally not scowling in annoyance.
Yep. Also, he responded with a smile. The answer to that was a smile. In response. Answer. Response. Smile. He came here looking for his mother, but ended up finding a sister instead. He's gonna have a big sis thing. He's gonna... He shook his head as Ashara let him out of the room. Wait, that actually means he can bone her. What other secrets do I not know about? He mused. Ashara. Oh, I like how it switches to her now.
Maybe we
walked
finally
up.
get a reason why she's behaving so nonsensically.
No, we
Yeah.
won't.
I mean,
One can hope.
One can be disappointed.
hey now, Star Wars droids have actual personalities. Every Roger was filled with their deepest thoughts and desires.
Have you never read a book from the perspective of a B-1 battle droid?
I haven't.
You should.
No.
They have fascinating thoughts.
Why do I sound like you're setting me up for some kind of really horrifying trap?
It's a trap.
Because he's Dylan.
You know
Yeah,
me
we-
so well.
We should abuse Dylan later after the stream.
Now that's not nice.
Did I ever
Oh,
say I
it's
was
fine.
nice?
You're supposed to be a hero.
We have to fill our daily quota.
He is a hero by doing that.
I'm a hero. I'm doing this.
A hero punishes the villain.
You don't punish the villain.
I thought
The
you
villain-
called yourself Dylan the villain.
I am the villain, but I win.
Villains don't win.
Whatever
What are
you
talking
tell
about?
yourself to sleep at night, Dylan.
I was actually thinking of buying melatonin gummies to sleep at night. Because I take too long to sleep. But anyway,
Zero's a hero about like Jon Snow.
yes. She walked along the pristine corridors of her home. I like how in her viewpoint, pristine corridors, it's probably like a shithole. Anyway, along with one of the house guards and the boy. No, man.
Hey,
Oh,
we
he's
shut
a
down the
man.
door. Hey, this
No.
tells us that the
No.
guards were actually outside the door.
Yep, the entire time. They heard him shout and they never came in.
Then that just means
And-
they're incompetent.
Yep. Also, he's a man who's
That's
currently
worse.
taking up the most of her thoughts. It was shaping up to be a rather boring day with how many mundane tasks she had to complete before the end of it. But John had turned up and it was turning out to be a pleasant surprise. I mean, an emotional roller coaster. The first time she set eyes on him, it was like looking at a young Ned. Well, if Ned, the quiet wolf. I mean, the awakened wolf, Diana's beloved brother, was half a foot taller. Oh, God damn it. 50 pounds of muscle heavier. Oh, and had a chiseled jawline under the thickest beard she'd ever seen. So just give me a second here. I just need to copy this here.
The next line.
I haven't read it yet. Don't say anything. I'm just copy and pasting this part. This definitely needs to be shared. I added that too. Alright, let's see. To put it bluntly, Ashara appreciated the view. Until he opened his mouth and blurted out the last thing she expected to hear. Wait, okay. The last thing she expected to hear. Why did she let him in?
I'm pretty sure it was because she was bored.
Because she found him hot. And when he killed the mood, when he asked her if she's
I know, but like,
hot.
I don't know. The way
didn't he
they
identify himself as Jon Snow specifically so she'd let him in?
I don't think so.
Why did he introduce himself again as, my name is Jon Snow, I'm Lord Eddard Stark's?
I mean, him shouting, "Are you my mommy?" It could have set the mood in this story.
That's
Oh God.
Yeah, but she's not into that, maybe.
No, that would have only been if he said that to one of the Targaryens.
I mean, it would have been
Sorry,
hilarious. It would have been hilarious. I can be your mommy.
oh dear.
Could also work if he opened up that with that in his first meeting with Cersei.
No, that's
Yeah, I didn't need that thought in my head.
Sister?
I definitely did not need that thought in my head, but thank you for that.
You're
No
welcome.
wonder Joffrey had so many problems.
My brain is dead now. All right.
You're welcome.
The questioning on whether or not she was his mother put the whole situation into perspective. Jon was a very young man, and she was a jilted, middle-aged woman old enough to actually be his mother. Jilted. Middle-aged woman. I mean, I guess in that world, yeah, she is middle-aged. And when he revealed he was Ned's baseborn son, well, the bigger picture was revealed, and her lustful tendencies were well and truly reined in. For now.
Good lord.
Ashara is a horny. Ashara needs to go to horny jail.
There are so many things I could say to this that are so wrong.
For now. Also, that's not how you write reined in. You rein over something with a G, and you rein a horse without a G. You like reining something in means stopping them. Not quite. Reining something in means controlling them.
Yeah.
What's your daughter's name? Came the young man's question as they made their way toward her daughter's chambers, essentially breaking her from her thoughts. Yep.
Yeah.
You
Turned
know
to
what
look at
happens
him.
in the chambers.
So why doesn't she call her into the solar? Why do they go to her chamber?
Because it has a bed.
As a bed. She turned to look at him and smiled. Gods, he was a handsome lad. Oh.
Someone wrote this and thought this was a good idea.
His coloring was all stark, but whoever it was that turned Ned's eye, she must have been stunning, and most definitely passed on her beauty to her son. Her smile wavered at that thought. Turned out Ned was like every man after all, using his other head to do the thinking. Yep. This is blatant sexism there.
Yeah.
All men are the same, yeah. Blatant sexism from Dirk, not her. Dirk is badly characterizing her as a jilted woman. Because, it is like every man. She...
Wait. If she's jilted, why is she being attracted to someone that looks like him?
Yep.
Because she
Worked
never
an
got
eyebrow.
over it.
And she realized she'd not answered his question. She cleared her throat. Don't you worry, it's going to be full of something else soon. Her name's Clarissa, named after her ancestor, Lady Clarice Dane. She
Why is
answered
this
as
italicized?
I don't know. Same reason Master M is italicized.
I must now look up the Dane family tree.
Yeah, you look it up while I keep reading. She answered as they rounded a corner and approached her Clarissa's chambers. Her Clarissa's chambers. No,
Hello, Clarice.
he was probably writing her daughter, and then he was like, no, it's Clarissa. And then he never deleted this part. John smiled and looked down. That's a lovely name, my lady. Milady. Am I right in guessing that the young lady I bumped into your solar was your daughter? He asked. She nodded. You would be correct in your assumption, my lord. My lord, calm down. She said as she
The horny
quizzically
is taking
smiled.
over.
Oh yeah. He's like half her age and she's ready to call him daddy.
Nope, there were multiple names on that family tree that could have been used that were canon.
Yep, she said as she quizzically smiled when he shook his head. I'm not surprised that he didn't use anything from canon. I mean, look at Japan. He could have used the canon version of it. Just John, milady. I'm not a lord, nor do I wish to be one, he answered.
I mean, he is right that he's not a lord. He's a prince.
Yep, it was her turn to quirk an eyebrow this time.
But he don't want the throne.
Did he quirk an eyebrow? Okay, he quirked an eyebrow. It was her turn to quirk the eyebrow now. You do not wish to be a lord, John? Why is that, may I ask? Like, you'd hear me ask questions like this if I'm being a douchebag, right? If I'm specifically talking in a way to anger people, I would speak like this. Why is that, may I ask? Like, an expectant tone with a hint of mockery. Like, this is the only case this would be acceptable in a conversation.
Yep. The more we do this, the more disappointed in myself I become.
Yep. This, ain't I a stinker? He smiled when she asked that. It seemed an easy smile, not one plastered on by the many lords she'd met in her lifetime. Because, lords are always angry at life, right? Being a lord just seems so constrictive. Like, there's so so constrictive. Like there's too many rules that prevent you from actually living. His smile didn't waver as he continued. I know.
I'm trying to think of the rules that would constrict a lord, and there's not that many.
Dude, the Lord can actually bang a vassal's wife in front of him before
Yeah,
they get to do it.
Yeah, the right
nothing-
of first night or something like that.
Yeah.
And they can't be stopped. They can do whatever they want, assuming they don't piss off the person
king.
higher up the chain.
Yeah.
Well, liege lord, then
Whoever the
king,
liege is.
or like if don't piss off the lord in your on your bordering on your border, the one who's stronger than you. Maybe cozy up to him or something.
And don't piss off the religious fanatics either.
Yeah, but like other than that, you can just do whatever you want. Like that's not usually an issue. The fanatics won't just show up at your house and just annihilate you if you're a lord. You have a standing guard. Unless the fanatics become an army, in which case, yeah, sure.
And hell, you can still travel too, because you have a person that you trust to watch the castle if you leave.
The Castellan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. His smile didn't waver as he continued. In some odd, twisted way, there's something about being a nobody that's extremely valuable. It grants you a degree of freedom, if you will. If you will. We finished. I'm picking up my own voice, I think. From some of you. One of you? It's probably Master M. Yeah.
He's the only one who isn't muted.
Correct.
Am I echoing?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too strong. But enough to make it noticeable. At least for me.
It's echoing through your beard.
Yes, your beard is a massive echo chamber. That's right. Question. Okay, now we finished here. Now we're here. But with the circumstances of your birth, don't you sometimes wish for that recognition of being trueborn? That one thing that stops the nasty comments or the poor treatment from the ones who, because of their birth, think they're better than you? She questioned. Why is she talking like she understands this? He shook
She
his
has
head.
a bastard daughter. Obviously, she understands through osmosis.
Oh, yes. Maybe a few years ago, but not anymore. Now that I have a better understanding on things, the words that are used to bring me down mean absolutely fuck all to me. If a lord or lady tries to argue with me or attempts to belittle me with words about bastardry or what have you, I'll just laugh in their face. I'll laugh in their face because I know that that's all they've got, that they're nothing without their lordship. Using the gift of being trueborn that was bestowed upon them at birth as a weapon just makes that person look like a spoiled, stuck-up cunt, in my opinion. Sorry for the language, milady. He finished with a
The
smirk.
more he talks about it, the more I feel like he cares.
Oh, he definitely cares.
Yeah.
Also,
It doesn't feel like word padding anymore. It feels more like he's being defensive.
I know how to end this story.
what? How?
Execute him because he's pissing off all the lords and ladies.
Oh yeah, I would. That would be funny. So, you know what's funny to me here? This is gonna sound a little political. This line. It just reminds me of modern day politics, with the people talking about the 1% richest people and how they need to take down the 1%.
Yeah.
This is what that reminds me of. They didn't earn it. They don't deserve their money. I need to have it.
That's a theme in this whole story.
It really is. But like, just the funny part about this is Jon is basically the highest one on the food chain in terms of the people who are rich here, and he's talking like this.
He is the 1% of the 1%.
Exactly.
Oh, but don't forget, the 1% in Japan aren't bad.
Oh yeah, the 1% in Japan, they're fine because they're Japanese. They got the better steel, they got the better houses, they got the better food, they got the better alcohol. It's Japan.
Don't forget the pets.
Oh yes, the monkeys that steal things. That's right. And they have the dragons. Ashar was very surprised with his answer. Either he had a rather large chip on his shoulder, or he did in fact believe what he was saying. I would say it's this thing. And with the sense he was speaking when talking about bratty lords being entitled based purely on their status of birds, she believed it was the latter. No, lady, it's
No,
definitely
it's
the former. It's the former. She waved off his apology for his language. She was a lady, not a septa. They carried on walking until they finally reached her daughter's chambers, distinguished by the guard at her door. Distinguished? Distinguished.
Is it common to have guards at your children's doors in your own castle?
For
I mean-
the royal family, maybe.
Royal family, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Kingsguard are an exception, I'm sure.
I'm
But-
not talking about the
average-
guards though. I'm talking about the use of the word distinguished.
Don't I look distinguished?
Yeah, I'm just ignoring that. I'm just talking about the logic of having a guard at her bastard daughter's door.
Oh yeah, bastard daughters. Oh, that's right. Like she's not even worth guarding. Like,
Or it's a horrible way for something bad to happen.
yep, that too. The guard in question knocked on Clarissa's door and announced that her mother was here to pay her a visit. It wasn't long before the door was being opened, and her daughter was looking into her eyes, the eyes of the Starks, the eyes of the man right behind her.
We got
Her
some
eyes.
foreshadowing
The
here.
eyes. The eyes. Yes, foreshadowing. That's right. Very, very weird, subtle. No, not even subtle, but unsubtle. That's what I want to say. Clarissa, darling. May we come in? I've got somebody I would like you to meet, she said, as her daughter briefly looked over her shoulder, no doubt eyeing John up. It's good. Staring on her cheeks with anything to go by. Oh no! Oh no!
Well, my expectation for him banging one has moved to banging both at the same time.
Welcome to the stream, Zorak. Let's see. I wonder what happens if the author of this fanfic finds out that their story is narrated and criticized hard on YouTube. He'd probably get angry, but also I don't know, maybe a little proud.
Little
Re-
flattered.
Publicity.
For publicity, yeah. No, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Larissa opened her door wider to let her and John in. Guessing she's gonna open something else wider later. Anyway, Ashara scanned the room and noticed an open book on her desk. She picked it up and noticed it was the book her uncle Arthur, the Quiet, the Shadow, sent her for her last name day. Oh, okay, we're back to name day. It was titled Dragons, Worms, and Wyverns. Their Unnatural History. And according to Arthur, it was rather a difficult book to it was a rather difficult book to find a copy of. All of this is a single sentence. Wait, no, two sentences. This is a single sentence.
It's difficult to find a copy of any book in that world. They don't have typewriters and letter.
Every book is handwritten.
You know, that was one of my mistakes in A Song of Ice, Fire, and Lightning. I was like, maybe there's a dude with some books in a city.
I remember that.
Look, man, I realized the mistake, but at that point, it was just so far into it that I was like, no, okay. If I change this, what will I replace it with? Maybe beat a dude up for some information. I could conceivably rewrite that scene so that the part where there's the part where he's almost mugged. I can make him beat the crap out of them, but then interrogate one, and then oh, so we're here and we're there, etc.
Or
Yeah.
he kills someone with Erebus and he can drain the information like he did with the Dark Stream.
That's fair. That's a good idea. Have him burp after. 'Cause after a meal, you must burp. Make it funny. Fortunately for Clarissa, Arthur had a rather good source when it came to rare books. She imagined King Rhaegar was involved in that regard. She turned to her daughter, who was currently busying herself by cleaning and putting things back in their place while sneaking looks at Jon. How can she sneak looks at Jon when he's staring at her? Sneaking a look implies the person isn't looking at you while you're looking at him. That's why it's called sneaking. Anyway, I'm surprised you haven't worn this book out, Clarissa. She chuckled as she picked up said book. Clarissa stopped what she was doing and grabbed the book from her hands and closed it. You know I love this book, Mother, and with recent events that have come to light, I deem it necessary to read up on dragons further, she said as she placed the book back down on her desk. She quirked an eyebrow at that. You still believe in what you told me earlier? She sighed. I don't mean to rain on your parade, sweetie. Why do I feel like this is like Aunt Petunia, not Harry Potter's Petunia, but like an old lady called Petunia who smokes. I don't mean to rain on your parade, sweetie. But what you saw was probably some bird or some sort of weird reflection off of the sea. I very much doubt what you saw was a dragon. They've been extinct for over 100 years, for starters. She explained. Rain on your parade. For starters. Clarissa shook her head as she huffed. I know what I saw, Mother, she said as she looked directly into her eyes. Eyes that diverted to the man stood at the door when Jon coughed. Okay, he was no longer sat at places. Now he stood at places. I don't like when people write like this. It's a popular way of writing. I don't like it. Is it weird? Or am I being
You need the
unfair?
Stargate clip that says, I am not fond of this.
I mean, I have it. I might as well use it.
I am not fond of this.
Not at all fond of this. Like eyes, and then he repeat. Like I know what they're saying. They're replacing the fact that they need to use which. You look directly into her eyes, which were diverted to the man, which then diverted, right? Or like end it with a period, and then say her look shifted to the man, or something like that, or she averted her eyes from her mother's and put them on the man before her. Like I need some time to actually write it down properly, but essentially, yeah. Oh, I just read the private chat. Exodus left because he has class tomorrow. Rest well, buddy. Make sure to catch the replay. And, you know, like the video and all of that stuff. Jon coughed. Ashara at that point realized she'd not... Oh, did not. Wait, no. Had not. Ashara at that point realized she had not introduced the two. Oh, gods, where are my manners? Jon, this is my daughter Clarissa. Clarissa, this is Jon Snow. She said as she struggled with how to present Jon to her daughter. I like how she doesn't name her Clarissa Sand. My daughter Clarissa, but this is Jon Snow. Jon cleared his throat and held out his hands for Clarissa to shake. I'm a close relative, was all that he said as they shook hands.
Wait. Do men and women shake hands in Westeros? I thought it was a kiss on the back of the hand.
Between lords and ladies, yes. Between... I mean, if he's supposed to be behaving as a lord, he should be kissing the hand.
Well, they both received the training of lords and ladies, I assumed.
Correct. It's stupid. I know. John cleared his throat and held out his hand. Okay, we did this. Clarissa quirked an eyebrow. Still quirking eyebrows at that and looked towards Ashara for clarification. Brilliant. It seems like okay, subtle T. Forgot 2 letters in this word here. Isn't something John is too fond of. You know what I'm not fond of? Misspellings. Right, Dirk? Misspellings. It just makes me want to just punch someone in the face.
How dare you?
Oh yes.
How dare you?
I am not fond of this.
Makes me want to put like dirt in someone's eye.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
I have sound bites. You know, I like using the clips, but I also like using the sound bites as well. It's nice making a soundboard. Anyway, she cleared her throat and briefly glared at the young man. Yes, a relative. Clarissa, darling, you might want to sit down for this little chat, she said. Clarissa frowned and hesitantly sat on her bed. Ashara sat next to her, and John brought a chair over from across the room and sat in front of the pair of them. They're all sitting.
Finally, it took long enough.
Long enough for the seat. She looked towards her daughter. Clarissa herself was too busy eyeing John up and down to even notice her mother. Ooh, calm down.
They are doing
He's
it.
already said he's a
As
close
soon-
relative.
As soon as she realized he's a close relative, she started eyeing him up.
Jumping
Purple
right to
eyes
the
do weird
incest.
things to these people.
Sweet home Alabama, she said as her daughter dragged her eyes away from John.
Sound of banjos echoes in the distance.
Yeah. We've talked about your father and the. By the way, no insult to people who actually live in Alabama, but I mean, you guys know why the joke is so prevalent. All right, let's not lie about it. Let's be honest. We've talked about your father in the past, haven't we? I feel like this is the Star Wars scene. I never told you what happened to your father. They told me enough.
Oh God.
She said as a grim look came over her daughter's face. See, it's.
No.
And I've told you who he is and why I've not told who he is and why I've not told him about you, haven't I? She said as delicately as she could. Clarissa sighed. I know. I've heard the reasons why, and I can't help but agree with them. Okay, never mind. So it went a different direction. They told me enough.
Who talks like that?
No one.
Nobody.
Robots.
Robots. This is the issue with bad dialogue. Is that people don't actually writers do not understand how to write dialogue correctly. I can tell you right now, this guy does not read what he writes out loud.
I've had that problem with a few of the stories I've betted.
Like, this is a writer. I will not call him an author. This is a writer on the level of beginner. And he'll probably stay beginner level forever because he hasn't
Mega Man.
updated in a long time. Like,
It's the
I'm
Mega Man level.
Yep. Is it me or there's so many as after said? No, you're right. This is also a mistake in writing. This here. Overusing this particular word. I do it, but I space them out. Because sometimes I say, she said as her daughter dragged her eyes away. And sometimes I say, she said, and then I put a period, and then I go to a next line, and then her daughter dragged her eyes away. Or I put a semicolon, her daughter dragged her eyes away. Or if I'm in the middle of a sentence, suppose it's a fight scene, as he punched the guy in the face, he quickly checked to his left or something. I would say he punched him in the face, and then I would put like, I don't know, an M dash, and it would say his eyes flitting to the left very quickly to make sure he's not being flanked or something, right? But what happens with these authors is that they just keep using this over and over and over, and they never use anything else, which is pretty bad. Bad writing all around. Again, I would agree with them. Okay, back here. Whew. She
There's a lot
said,
There's a lot of authors that can't do fight scenes right.
I remember that one fight scene you showed me?
Which one? I've showed it to you.
Not you, Ryle.
Oh.
It was I'm not sure who it was anymore, to be honest. But it was like the fight happens, but the guy just wins outright. Like it just says that he's stronger and he beat them.
Of course,
It was a Pokemon. It was a Pokemon fiction, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like he sends a Pokemon and it knocks him out with one hit or something. And I'm sitting here like, that is not how you write fights. If it's anything I can do right, it's fights. I might not be super good at romance, or I might not spend too much time on romance, and I might not spend too much time on making detailed plots with intricate storylines hidden within storylines. I keep things simple for the most part. But the only thing I go all out at is fights. Because I love doing those.
You do pretty good on your fights.
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun standing around. Like this is how I do my fights. I'd be writing. I suppose someone is attacking you, right? I stand up and I just close my eyes and I picture someone running at you, what they would do, and then I think about what I would do in response, and then I also think about what I would do wrong. Like, suppose I freaked out and did the wrong thing, right? And then I put that in there, and then as a consequence, the character gets hurt, and then I have to figure out how to recover from that. And then write the movements. This is how I do it. I don't know how other people do it. I mean, other people probably just... what?
I just put it in the private chat. I mean, it's a short sentence, so you could probably read it out. The fight scene you mentioned.
Yeah, I see it.
What the hell?
Ash nodded in reply and sent... honestly, I can just copy this and do this here. Probably. Then
That's not a fight scene.
Hey, that's a fight scene, all right?
No, it's not.
Accept it. That's a fight scene from now on.
No, it's not.
It's a fight scene. Accept it.
No.
You don't accept it, I will...
That's worse than Rising Sun's fight scenes.
Man.
I think I did mention that even Rising Sun has better fight scenes than this.
All right, I'll read it out loud because I can't figure out how to put it on the thing. Actually, let me just do this for a second. Do this here, remove the share screen. I might as well share the entire screen instead of just the tab. Entire screen. And that way, I can simply click a button here. Open this. Paste this here. Copy link. Open new tab. There. Should be seen, right? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Ash nodded in reply and sent out his Blastoise, with Blaine choosing to ride on. Horn drill, Blaine called out. Ash waited, and once Rhydon was closer, he ordered Blastoise to use Hydro Pump. Clever. You let me defeat myself, Blaine commented with a smirk.
It's not a fight scene.
That's the entire fight, though.
Search your feelings. You know it to be a fight scene.
It's not. No.
Oh, God damn. All right, back to normal screen sharing. Chrome tab, share. There we go. Back to normal, everybody. Anyway. Here, okay, Yep, that was definitely a short fight. She said before a whole different look took over her beautiful face. But a part of me wished he knew. Wished he knew so he would see what he's missed all this. Like, God damn it, the repetition is awful. She finished. Shara knew how passionate Clarissa was about the whole situation. This is the best way to put this. You ever seen school plays that are made by amateurs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where like the people are trying to act, but they were
Aren't
just like,
all school plays by amateurs?
okay, let's.
I think he's talking about like this play is actually written by an amateur.
Yes, the dialogue is written by an amateur, and they read the dialogue and they try to sound very dramatic, right? Part of me wished he knew, because like they would repeat it, right? They would repeat it so that they would emphasize the second one to give it an emotional impact. The problem is this could work in plays. It does not work in novels. It does not. I don't care how many people try it. It never works in novels. And with the advent of cinema and all the new movies, and honestly, we're reaching direct to consumer movie model now. Like people can make movies and just easily make money without the need to go to Hollywood and do all that crap. People prefer dialogue that makes sense and doesn't feel forced, like this. Like this specifically, the way I read this and I think, oh, he's just trying to get an emotional outburst from me. This is definitely bad. The trick to good writing is getting the emotional outburst, but not letting the person reading realize that they're being manipulated in this way. Obviously, they're being manipulated. I mean, that's why you read books, just to feel a certain way, to escape from your life. You get to be entertained, to be excited from watching, I don't know, an amazing, you crest over a hill and you see a massive castle or you see a massive tower, the promise of treasure and adventure. Or you go in to read a horror. You're going in there knowing you're going to be scared, and you're scared anyway. Even though you know there's nothing to be scared of, it's just the author writing a story to just mess with your head. Like, he's just playing with your strings.
But it still works.
But it still works. When I read this, I see the strings. And it misses me entirely. And yes, new. This is how I read all of the stories I read. I know people don't like it when I don't like their recommendations, but saying this is how I read them.
Hey, now my recommendations are amazing.
No comment.
Movies and TV, they're decent.
Yeah, I like Lucifer. All right, that's fun to watch. Movies are pretty good, unless you recommend me the movie that shall not be named.
Which one was that?
One with the rocks and the fire and the air.
I didn't recommend that.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
We will confirm this after the stream. We are now halfway through the chapter, I think. Most of this stream has just been me going off on a tangent. I just realized. Like, the actual chapter has probably taken about 30 minutes of actual reading. I said actual twice, I know. Shara knew how passionate Clarissa was about the whole situation regarding her father. She remembers when she told an 8-year-old Clarissa who their father was. and then explaining it all further to her 6 years later. To say her daughter blew her top over Lord Stark's actions would be an understatement.
Another modern saying.
I can think of like 5 different ways to say that would have fit the world better.
But wait, a part of me wished he knew so he could have seen what he's missed, right? I understand you wanting to hurt him. How? Okay. Okay. Trust me, I know. So, the girl, Clarissa, knows that her father doesn't know about her and is assuming that he's evil because her mother told her that he's evil.
Yeah.
And she does not doubt this at all.
So she's naive and gullible.
We're just getting that straight. Because I know for a fact that Jon is probably going to talk to her and be like, this girl is very smart, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, of course. Then again, smart doesn't necessarily mean you're not naive and gullible.
Also, Dylan, Ryle linked something for you. No, he didn't link, but he wrote something for you in the private chat.
Okay, give me a second.
And I understand you want to hurt him. I know, she said as she shook her head and looked up at Jon, who was quietly taking in all the anger his father had caused to her and her
No,
daughter.
that's not a fight scene. Stop.
Took damage from Stealth Rock. This is why you do not write the games specifically as fight scenes. It doesn't work. It took damage from Stealth Rock, yes. Yes, this isn't... The fight scenes are not a health bar going slowly down. That's not how it works. Moving on. You're not the only one he's hurt in the past, Clarissa, she finished as her daughter followed her line of sight. Her daughter looked confused at first, but that was quickly remedied with what she said next. Clarissa, Jon here is Lord Stark's son, your half-brother. Jon gave her daughter a little smile and wave. Hello, Clarissa. It's an honor to meet you, he said, to ease the awkwardness of the whole situation. Because that doesn't just make it more awkward.
Hello, Clarice.
Haha, Clarice.
You keep saying Clarice, and all I can think about is Percy Jackson.
I don't know what you're talking about because I've not read that book.
I mean, that line. How is that line not bringing Hannibal Lecter to your... Dylan, what's wrong with you?
Because I haven't seen that.
What the heck, Dylan? We need... one of you needs to send me that damn Dylan...
Damn it, Dylan.
You don't need
Dylan.
that. You don't need that.
I'm gonna make it into an emoji, a proper one. Alright?
It doesn't need to be an emoji.
Or not?
We've got the emojis covered.
Yeah, there's one for me, one for Aster, and one for you.
Well, I guess I'm emoji worthy. I'm also meme worthy.
Okay, Lepusel says, not gonna lie, if I would find my fic read out loud and criticized in videos, I would be happy as hell. It is hilarious. I mean, is that an offer for me? Like, are you asking me if you want me to do it?
Her fic is a little mature to be read on YouTube.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, let's see here. His smile disappeared. Wait, no. Here. Clarissa herself shook her head in confusion. I don't understand. I thought you lived with Lord Stark. What's he done to her? You? She asked in an almost judgmental tone. His smile disappeared at her question. You're right. I did live under Lord Stark's roof. and I went wanting for nothing. I got a bed to sleep in. I got regular meals every day. I got a decent education. And I got to grow up knowing my brothers and sisters. By the way, you'd love every one of them just like I do.
And he still complains.
Oh, yeah. He sighed. It's the torment that finally made me leave that place. I went wanting for nothing. I got a bed to sleep in, regular meals, decent education, grow up knowing my brothers and sisters. It's the torment. Well, thank you. I'm glad you find it funny. Also, I was joking. Like, I'm not that bad with I find myself at a loss for words here. I didn't mean it, essentially. Let's see. Larissa looked even more confused than before. The torment. He looked at her and then back at Clarissa. Listen, I'm just gonna be straight with you. I don't deal well with any of this heavy shit. And talking about it all is the last thing I want to be doing right now, he said, as Clarissa's eyebrow. The point. Since the age of about 5 or 6, I've been asking Lord Stark about my mother, and I didn't stop for almost a decade with my questioning. In that time, the only thing I ever found out was that I was born in Dorne. I don't know her name, where she lives, if she knows about me, or if she's even alive. God damn.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Yep.
Also, Master M, check the private chat for a second. But, like, don't answer out loud.
Yeah.
Well, I got well and truly fed up with the whole situation, coupled with the fact that Lady Stark was nothing but a raging bitch towards me, and the pair of them seemingly angling for me to join the Night's Watch. I decided to take matters into my own hands and decided to just fuck off. The only regrets I have are that I couldn't personally say goodbye to my siblings, he said as he took a calming breath.
I forget. Do him and Sansa get along in this one?
No, she called him an animal or something, right?
She was the only one who had any sense, and yeah, she's called him that. But she regretted it later after he left.
So he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that, so yeah, he probably still thinks she's a Tully.
Right. Oh, Fluffy left. Have fun at this. I was gonna say have fun at the store, but I feel stupid for even thinking that. I hope you find what you're looking for. That's better. See you later, bud. Okay. Took a calming breath. Jon Snow, the calming breath man. Fast forward. Nearly 3 years after I left to now, where the only reason I'm in Starfall right now is because of some dumb rumor that your mother was in actual fact my mother. Turns out she's not. But at least I made the right choice in coming here. Yep. Basically, I wouldn't have found out I had another sister. The end. This is so bad. He finished as he seemed to slump in his chair in relief. I cannot actively make something as bad as this.
Couldn't you?
I mean, you think I could?
Do you want me to?
If you attempted to, you know all the tropes that you would need and all the things that make you mad about writing.
Well, I mean, I would get so
Did he
angry.
bring himself to do it is the question.
I don't know if I can. Like, maybe if I write it in Comic Sans. I know you guys started talking about that. Does that actually work?
Yes, it does, apparently.
It definitely helped me.
Yeah, but you're
So-
writing an Argon game of fanfic, so
True.
It helped USS.
Apparently, it helped USS as well.
Maybe I should write that. If for those of you watching who don't know what the heck we're talking about, apparently if you write in Comic Sans, it massively increases your ability to write, which I have no idea like how that works. But
I mean, hell, the progress he made on this last chapter was amazing.
I might do it.
some
start doing
people just say it's because you are out of a routine, and like if you see something new instead of always the same word processor.
I
And
mean,
that
I like
kind of-
using Georgia. It's a nice font.
I mean, some people swear by wingdings, so you can't even see what you actually wrote, and then you have to convert it back later, so you can't jump back and edit while you're writing.
Just notice what you guys did in dumpster fires. No. Dylan losing his mind.
I just showed him a proper fight scene.
No. That's the one thing that can piss me off as much as Zero with bad writing is fight scenes.
Yeah, you should try it, Pucell. It might actually help you. I don't know if it does, but it might. I'm gonna try it too, and we'll see what happens. Let's see here. Up in its general relief. Mother and daughter were both silent after what has been said, no doubt absorbing what had just been said. Don't silence what has been said, no doubt absorbing what had just been said. Yeah.
We get a mother-daughter tag in this.
Jon seemed to take that the wrong way. Listen, he said as he rose to his feet. I'm just gonna go. This seems to have been a mistake. I'm annoyed that the search for my mother continues, but I'm glad I got to meet you. It's safe to say I won't be informing Lord Stark of anything that has happened today. He's not the only one who can keep fucking secrets. Who can keep fucking secrets? Oh, who can keep secrets, and he used fucking as an adjective to make it. Okay.
Was that fucking needed?
No. He's having sexual relations with secrets. I mean, bedroom fun. He seemed to growl out as he picked up his chair and moved it back to its original spot.
Oh, he's
I
growling.
did not have sexual relations with those secrets.
I like that.
He's growling. Is he growling like a wolf or a dragon?
He's growling like a wolf
He's like
dragon.
a wolf right now. He doesn't know he's a dragon.
Yeah, he's a dragon with lizard scales. Oh, sorry, he's a wolf with lizard scales. My brain shut down for a second there. Clarissa shot up from her bed. No, wait, she said as she grabbed hold of Jon's arm. I like where this is going. Jon looked down at her, almost startled by Clarissa's outburst. Clarissa held his hand in between her two smaller ones.
How lewd.
Yeah, this is getting me. They're going to hell. At least stay for dinner. I want to hear about my brothers and sisters. I want to get to know you, she said as she bit her bottom lip and looked up at him with her big gray eyes. Okay. Classic. Whatever it was that Jon saw, it seemed to do the job, as he all but melted at the look Clarissa was giving him. Okay, I'll stay. A warm meal sounds lovely, and it will be my pleasure telling you all about our siblings, he said as Clarissa hooked her arm around Jon's and headed towards the door. Shara just shook her head and smiled at her daughter's antics. Antics? Look, antics is just messing around, right? This is a heartfelt moment. This is supposed to be a heartfelt moment, not antics.
Well, Jon's gonna be eating something.
Yeah, he will. It's gonna be a very warm meal, if you catch my drift. Well, let me start off by telling you about our little devil of a sister, was all she heard as they exited the room. We're chasing the Daenerys. Stormborn. Wait, no, is she still Stormborn in this one? Yeah, she is.
She shouldn't be.
Wait, no, I can't remember anymore.
Why would she have been at Dragonstone?
Well, was she at the castle when Rhaegar won
No,
the
they
war?
ran. They ran when they heard that he died. I thought.
I don't even remember anymore. Let's assume she is no longer the Stormborn then.
She's just the born.
Was John gonna be dispensing those protein shakes soon? Hell yeah, he is. Some warm protein shakes. Very nutritious. Part of the girls' everyday diets. She lifted her skirts. Daenerys. She lifted her skirts as she upped her pace. The corridors of the Red Keep were almost a blur with how light-footed she was being. All to avoid the one person she really didn't want to be talking to right now. Sir Jaime was hot on her heels in an attempt to keep up, along with an annoying but charming grin he carried so very well. There was no doubt he knew the reason for her eager pace. Your Grace, he's your brother. It can't be that bad. Sir Jaime huffed out as he finally caught up. Isn't he like extremely well built and with plenty of stamina?
Yeah.
Jamie should not have any trouble keeping up with Daenerys.
Like it should be the other way around. She should be the one having trouble to keep up with him.
I mean, even if he was in full armor, he shouldn't have any trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He nearly bumped into her as she stopped and turned around. A quirked eyebrow aimed at him. Oh, the quirking starts again. Really, Sir Jaime, you've met my brother. One of the greatest moments of my life was when my brother told me Viserys was marrying and subsequently moving to Sunspear. You know why I don't want to see him. The ravens have been getting more and more aggressive, she said as she turned back around and carried on down the corridor. Okay, wait.
Wait.
You've met my brother, which means Viserys, right?
Yes.
One of the greatest moments of my life was when my brother, Viserys, told me Viserys. Oh, okay. Rhaegar. The issue with saying my brother here, implying that it means Viserys, because she's saying, really, Sir Jaime, you've met my brother, as in, you know, he's actually that bad. It means Viserys. And then switching immediately after by using my brother again, but this time she means Rhaegar. It's not good writing. Also, shouldn't Jaime be trying to slaughter her? No, it's been a while since we've read this thing. I don't know how long you've actually been with us here. I can't remember if you were with us then from the start, but I'm assuming you're not. But essentially, Rising Sun is an alternate universe story where Robert loses the war and Rhaegar wins. So Jaime is still a Kingsguard to Rhaegar and, you know, the royal family. So he's not trying to slaughter her.
Wait, did Viserys marry Ariana?
Yeah, Viserys married Arianne Martell. That's right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was marrying and moving to Sunspear.
Well, we know who wears the pants in that relationship.
Yep, and he's obviously still obsessed with Daenerys, which is why he is that bad. Which, you know, this whole thing, brother, but it's different brothers. You know why I don't want to see him. The ravens have been getting more and more aggressive, she said as she turned back around and carried on to, okay, we already read this. Ah, the ravens. Viserys had been living in Sunspear for around 2 years now, and within the first 6 moons of his stay, she'd received 5 ravens from him. Each one getting more and more aggressive. To cut a long story short, her brother hated living in Dorne, hated living with the Martells, hated his wife, and ultimately hated their brother for making all of that happen.
Viserys the bitch.
Happened to the starts then concerning the rebellion. What happened was, you know, the Lyanna dies, Brandon dies, Rickard dies. You know,
Benjamin joins the Night's Watch.
Yes, Benjamin joins the
Ned
Night's Watch.
kidnaps Jon.
Yeah, Ned kidnaps Jon and tells Rhaegar that his son is dead.
No, that his daughter is dead.
He tells Rhaegar that his daughter is dead and that he burnt her and spread the ashes or something, right? Or he put them in a jar. Something like that.
Spread the ashes at Summerhall is what he did.
Yes.
What he
that's exactly
claimed
it.
to have done.
What do you claim to have done? He basically lied about the fate of Jon to Rhaegar.
Out of spite.
Out of spite, because he didn't believe that Lyanna, like he hated the fact that Lyanna, betrayed the family in some way, right? It doesn't actually make sense, but that's the premise.
It doesn't make sense, but it could if there had been proper build-up.
Exactly. But the way it was written was, this happened and this happened and this happened and he did this and he did it out of spite. That's it. And then Jon runs away, defeats a bunch of guards, steals a boat, goes to Japan, befriends the people, meets what's his name? I already forgot the fucking name. Oh,
Garion?
yes, Garyon Lannister. Gets 2 katanas and 2 Valyrian steel swords and a dragon and kills Euron Greyjoy and defeats the army and saves Japan. And now we're here. Like,
Not
this
just
is
any
after he
dragon,
does
though.
that.
A crystal dragon that shoots Godzilla breath.
Yes, a crystal dragon that shoots Godzilla breath, and for some reason he's hiding it right now. It dropped him off at Dorne, and now it's just chilling in the forest or some shit, right?
And not hiding it very well because his sister has already seen it.
His half sister that he's probably gonna bang soon.
And for some reason, the dragon listens to him with no complaint.
Oh yeah, the
They're
entire
soul-bonded.
yeah, like his blood connected with the dragon, and he was like, "What do I need to do to gain your allegiance?" The dragon was like, "We are soul bonded. I will do everything you want." And that was it.
That doesn't sound soul bonded. That sounds soul dominated.
Man.
Were exact words. We are bound, mind, body, and soul.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the body. Yeah,
Yep,
it's like
the dragon
Shrek.
gonna turn into a human. But
So,
about
nope, it's definitely like Shrek. He's just gonna do the actual huge ass dragon. You're welcome for that mental image. Anyway,
well, we've all seen Shrek. We all have that mental image.
Shrek is love.
Shrek is life.
Is life.
Am I the only one that can't get over how Viserys is not happy in a marriage with Ariana?
Ariane, but yes.
I mean, it's Viserys. He's canonically all about the Targaryen purity.
He's never happy about anything.
Like,
Well, I mean, he was nice, right? But like
yeah, he was nice
the
until
entire reason
had
he
to sell
became
his
a
mother's
bad guy.
crown.
Yeah, like the entire reason he became a bad guy was because he had to sell his mother's crown.
Yeah, and all the
So-
stress of having to run from assassins and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so having
But
him be
the
like
fact
this
that he
here.
wanted to marry Daenerys, I think, would have been a thing, even had everything turned out good for the family.
Fair
I'm
enough.
pretty sure Ariana could still make him happy.
Ariane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sure
sure
she
you pretty much marry 4 of the Sand Snakes at the same time.
Ariane. Ariana is Dumbledore's sister.
Yeah. The,
That's a crossover idea.
You better not.
Ariana Dumbledore reincarnated as Ariane Martell.
Oh
right.
God!
Dylan, start writing that story. Go.
For the
couldn't.
greater good.
Do it with Comic Sans. You'll be able to write very quickly.
Draco Malfoy has been reincarnated as Viserys.
Wait till my father hears about this.
That has been probably done before. I mean,
The first. All right, let's continue here. The first 5 ravens she'd read and kept to herself. Obviously, Viserys needed somebody to vent to, and she was kind of surprised she was the one he'd chosen. Even with him moving away, she couldn't get rid of him. But then the ravens changed. As much as her brother thought she was stupid and simple, she, unluckily for him, wasn't in the slightest. A pattern had started to emerge in the letters he would send to her, and she caught on pretty early. He was trying to get out of his marriage. According to
cotton
Rhaenys.
on? Isn't it caught on?
No. Cotton on is a, statement that is acceptable.
Okay.
According to Rhaenys, who had heard from Tyene, who had been told by Arianne, Viserys had only ever visited their marriage bed the one time, and that was the night of the wedding. She'd blushed when Rhea had told her everything that Tyene had told her, the fact that Viserys hadn't even finished inside Arianne due to his heavy drinking at the wedding feast. And since he'd not slept with her since, it was no surprise that there had been no pregnancy announcement. So, Viserys wasn't even visiting his wife's bed. He'd also mentioned time after time how he felt belittled and laughed at behind his back by everyone in Dorne, how nobody showed him the respect he should be shown except for the likes of his brother-in-law, Prince Quentyn, and his new personal guard, Gerald Dane. Prince Quentyn was another man she didn't want to show the time of day to either, and was very involved in her brother's mad plan, a plan that was doomed to fail. Turns out, Gerald Dane was more than just a new personal guard. He was in on this elaborate scheme as well, along with her brother and Quentyn, with her unfortunately being the catalyst that tied this entire thing together.
That's not what a catalyst does.
Correct. I just read those comments in private chat. You guys are awful. Oh, Dylan is awful. God damn it, Dylan. God damn it.
I mean, I could have kept going.
Yeah, you could have. It's good that you didn't.
Don't you wish you had the damn it Dylan meme for this?
Yep, I do. Viserys wanted to have his marriage with Arianne, but couldn't end it without causing offense to the Martells. He couldn't kill Arianne. She knew her brother had psychopathic tendencies, but even she knew he wouldn't do such a thing. Psychopathic tendencies. His way of fixing all of this would be to run away to Essos for a few years. The Martells would be offended by his disappearance and demand an annulment and some form of compensation. In her brother's twisted mind, her marrying Quentyn was more than enough to fix that.
Okay. So to make that psychopathic tendencies work in setting, should say that her brother had shown signs of his father's madness.
Yeah, could at least do that. Like, you could have said, because, when it was assumed that Rhaegar died, Aerys said that Viserys is now king, right? But Rhaegar is now alive, so Viserys is no longer king, which could, mess with his head early on. Something I could accept. But I think, to be honest,
He could have got hit in the head by a horse.
it's not what I want to say. That's funny though. I do not believe that Viserys is irredeemable enough to be treated like this in this particular story, because he actually loved his family. Like, he didn't hate Rhaegar.
He is not.
He would have been happy that his big brother is alive.
Or a Joffrey. He is a tragic character.
He would have actually been happy that Rhaegar is alive and that the family is well and good and the dynasty is still up.
Hell,
At that point of time, he did not care about ruling the kingdom, but he just wanted, his own thing.
hell, Viserys could have easily been a good character.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this dude, you can obviously tell, Dirk, is very
Anti-Viserys. Which is very common in the fandom.
He doesn't understand the characters. He just he works with his feelings around them. This is essential to bad writing. Your opinion of the character should not affect the characterization. Otherwise, it's bad.
That's how you get bashing.
Yeah, bashing is awful. We'll stop.
Awesome.
No.
Sasuke bashing is so prevalent.
Especially run bashing. That is a holy duty.
Ron is a good character, and Sasuke bashing is because this particular generation that we're in, they hate the overachievers. And Sasuke is overachiever level 500.
I stand by my statement that Ron bashing is so common because he's one of the best written characters.
Yep. They hate him because he's well written.
Like, a well-written character has flaws that you can clearly see, which make them easy targets.
Look, it's like Z Gamer. When I have 10 worry about his regrets over killing people, or when he has nightmares about killing Blue, and people are like, "He's such a pussy." I'm sitting here like, "Oh, okay,
Whatever you say.
all right." Like, it would have been a good character if he felt nothing over doing all that. Good characterization.
Give him a few years to mature. He'll grow out of it.
Regrets don't mean like yeah, I get it. 3 years down the line, he probably won't have nightmares anymore. But right there and then, hey, he's gonna be affected. It's not.
I
It's
never
not like
said anything.
It's not like he was in the army and he was being prepared to kill people. Like they have a specific method in the army and air force and whatever. They specifically prepare you for the fact that you're going to kill, so that when it does happen, you're not as affected by it.
And even then, it just delays the effect.
Yeah, like after the war, when everything is calming down, you start having all these issues. All these issues like talking to people and, just finding danger at every corner, even though there's nothing there.
The only ones who are unaffected by killing someone are psychopaths.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's also one thing. This guy does not understand what psychopathic tendencies actually are. So,
Yes.
like, Euron is a psychopath.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Let's keep going, though.
Of course, he's
Gerald
all
Dane.
amusing.
Yes, that too. Or Darkstar, as some people like to refer him as, also profited from this whole farce. The man believed if Viserys was out of the picture, then he had a shot at taming the Princess of Dorne for himself. The whole situation made her sick, and she wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. Nothing to with it. Thus, she decided to ignore every single one of Viserys' progressively worse letters. And then he turned up in King's Landing, and she couldn't ignore him as easily as she wanted him to anymore. Also, something else. Like, we talked about bad writing and how he's a tragic character, etc. There was a point in the previous chapters where Rhaegar and Daenerys were like, I don't want to force you in a marriage that you don't want." Like they kept doing that, saying that over and over.
Viserys is clearly in a marriage he doesn't want.
That he's being forced in a marriage he doesn't want and reacting in a way to just get him out of it. In a way that doesn't hurt anybody, because he's just like you said, he just wants to leave. I get her marrying Quentin is probably one of the bad moves in there, but it's not like he can force her in this situation. He could just leave.
It's not like Quentin is inherently a bad character either.
Yeah, it's like he's a bad character either. She's just assuming he is because she hasn't even talked to him as far as we know. But I find it significant that if it's the girl being forced in the marriage, it's totally
wrong.
awful. But if it's the guy being forced in the marriage, she doesn't care.
Yeah. Double standards.
And it's not her double standards, it's the double standards that Dirk.
Double standard.
Yeah, he's forcing his double standards onto the character's psyche and modern sensibilities. And it's so heavy-handed.
And the vast majority of these female characters would not be objecting to arranged marriages the way they are. Arya was a clear exception to that.
Yeah.
In how resistant she was to traditions like that.
In canon, the culture in canon is that they look forward to getting married.
Yes.
Yes, but modern sensibilities are inserted. It happens all the time in fictions.
It's terrible.
It really is.
this. Okay, then he turned up in King's Landing, and she couldn't ignore him as easily as she wanted to anymore. She'd only seen him once since he'd arrived, and that was during the welcoming party. She'd kissed each of his cheeks in a public show of endearment, fooling absolutely nobody who knew about their childhood. He'd gripped her shoulders like a vice when they'd embraced, not too dissimilar to when they were kids. A whispered breath in her ear, "We need to talk soon, sister." "We need to talk soon, sister," was all that was said, and he moved on to greet the rest of the family. Viserys had used the excuse of seeing his new grandniece for coming to the capital, but with Prince Quentin and Sir Gerald Dane accompanying him, she wasn't as easily fooled. That, and the fact that Viserys didn't give a fuck about the half-breeds of the family. Daenerys and Sir Jaime hurried down one of the many corridors of the Red Keep with no particular destination in mind. Maybe I should go and see Alysanne again. Viserys definitely won't be there. Where are we going, if you don't mind me asking, your grace? Capitals? Sir Jaime questioned as his polished armor clunked in the silence of the corridor.
Also, should she be called Your Grace? Isn't that reserved for the king?
The king and queen, yes. She should be called princess. Or, I mean, my lady would work. Well, yes. I'm not quite sure yet, but anywhere that isn't in Viserys' presence is always ideal. I think another visit to my grandniece is in order, don't you? She said. They were moving that quick they're moving. Okay, I'm guessing so here instead of that. They were moving so quick that when they rounded one of the many corners in this maze she called home, she collided into the chest of an unsuspecting individual. Sir Jaime held onto her shoulder and steadied her, which gave her the opportunity to look up at whoever she'd clashed with. Brilliant. Of all the people to bump into right now, and it had to be this idiot. Your Grace, what a pleasant surprise. If I knew you were in such a rush to see me, I would have come to you immediately, Lord Oran drawled out. Dany rolled her eyes. It's not that she hated the man. It was more to do with what he wanted, and he was barking up the wrong tree. The fact that he looked very similar to her brother Rhaegar was enough to make any form of intimacy with the man way too awkward and off-putting. Okay, so it's fine if it's Rhaegar, but it's okay if it's Jon. I mean, it's not fine if it's Rhaegar.
They look like your brother, but it's okay if it is your nephew.
Yeah. I mean, he probably looks like Rhaegar in a way, like, so this sentence should make her not want to be with him, but we'll see. Coupled with the fact that it was so far up his own arse, he could probably taste his breakfast. Dany couldn't for the life of her see Lord Orain, whatever, as anything but a pest. Let's call him Lord Pest from now on. Don't worry, my lord. I don't think people being in a rush to see you is something you should be worrying about, she said in the most innocent tone she could. Lord Pest just looked at the ground and smirked. Duly noted, your grace, he said before looking back at her. If I may be so forward in saying, you look beautiful on this fine day, your grace. Yep, this is what passes for flirting.
I don't like that.
Oh no. It's coarse. It's everywhere. Oh. It's terrible.
Still better than this.
Really, anything is better than this. I think maybe... Okay, Dylan, maybe Season 8 is better than this.
No.
No. Season 8 is only better than this because of Podrick's song.
Okay.
No,
yes.
Because Ghost, not petting Ghost, negates that.
He pets Ghost at the end.
No, no.
Pet Ghost.
No.
He does it.
Yeah.
And the horrible tactics in The Long Night pissed me off too much.
Look, man. Let's not talk about that, alright? I don't want to go back to that Dark Knight. Literally and both literally and figuratively. It was actually dark, but it was also dark for my soul. Let's just stick.
The dead are rising to attack us. Let's hide the women and children in the crypts.
Let's rush the Dothraki immediately and get them all killed.
Let's fight outside the castle.
Let's put our siege weapons outside the castle.
And in front of our soldiers so they can't be protected.
Let's not put archers. Let's not put like 5 trillion archers on the battlements. Like it didn't even matter if they were good archers or not. All they had to do was pull the string and let it loose.
Hell, the Dothraki didn't even have weapons that would have affected the Whites and White Walkers until Melisandre showed up.
Yeah, and even then they didn't do crap. It was a nice looking shot, but that's all it was.
I mean, my screen was a little dark. I barely saw anything in that episode.
A little dark.
Let's scream at a dragon like that's gonna do shit.
I like to scream at dragons sometimes. To Dany, the compliment was as basic as anything she'd heard from any of her suitors, and his face looked like a mongrel chewing a wasp. Alright. He would play this little game, though. If she kept him keen, then maybe he could be useful against the many advances from her suitors, mainly Prince Quentin. She lifted her chin and looked him right in the eyes. I know, was all she said, and proceeded to carry on walking, past the now smiling master of ships. She wasn't a vain person, but she wasn't naive enough to think she was ugly. Their family had always been blessed with the great beauty of their Dragonlord ancestors. Okay. So, she's supposed to be a good person, right? But she's using this guy who's clearly interested in her. Like, he's clearly interested in her and doesn't seem to have any ulterior motives, right?
Yeah.
And she's using him.
Interested.
Yeah, and she's using him as a shield against another dude. And she's supposed to be a good person. This is what we're supposed to believe. And Viserys is supposed to be the bad person because he wants to get out of the marriage he'd been forced into. Saying, I'm just like I know I'm pointing it out, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
something about this is wrong here. But yeah, Sir Jaime caught up with her quite quickly. She could almost hear the smirk on his face when he spoke. Well played, Your Grace. You know, I've never been much of a fan of his, and to see him dismissed so casually really warms my heart. Thank you, Jaime, he said. She turned and looked over her shoulder and just smiled back at him. Dogs can be useful if they're trained, Sir Jaime.
Yeah, she's really the good guy.
She's the good person here. I'm dangling the treat.
A suitor to a dog.
Mm-hmm. I'm dangling the treat completely out of his reach with one hand and tying the collar around his neck with the other. She whispered to him in an amused tone. Sir Jaime just shook his head and grinned. You've been spending too much time with your mother, he said as they reached a door to the outside that led to the royal gardens. No. 2 guards bowed their heads as they opened the door for her. What's up?
Her mother. Since when is her mother supposed to be like that?
Never. I don't know. Never mentioned that before.
I feel pain.
Yep. Also, when did Ryle disappear?
He left.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
put it on leaving?
Discord.
Oh, yeah, I'm not looking there right now. Sorry. Bad. Okay. Sir, okay, here.
I have filled out more of the cast for this Harry Potter self-inserts.
Yeah, I noticed, but I'm gonna read. I'm gonna finish reading all of this, and then I'll do that. She looked over her shoulder again at Sir Jaime. So what if I do? I love my mother, and she is a remarkable woman, she said in a tone that refused anything but agreement. So she is now also a power-hungry authoritarian. Remember when Jon was talking about how nobles don't care about anything except the power they have?
Here Danny is proving his point.
And she's supposed to hook up with him, right? Her mother was the most remarkable. Okay, we already said she's a remarkable woman, a survivor and a warrior in her own way. If her grace was a weapon, her mother could wield it and cut down any knight with minimal effort. Yeah, okay, of course. Sir Jamie, to describe it, looked down and almost whispered with agreement, "That she is, your grace. That she is." Like, I'm not denying that Raela is a remarkable woman. What I am denying is that Daenerys is.
This version of her, anyway.
This version of her. And, season 8 version of her.
That doesn't exist.
It exists in your heart.
Oh God.
That's why it hurts so much. Okay. Seer's fish, she's seen him in a while before his eyes wandered just over his shoulder and widened. I'm guessing widened because Viserys is here. He put his arm around her shoulder and ushered her towards the stables at the bottom of the hill. "Don't look now, your grace, but I've just seen the 3 people you've been avoiding all this time. See? Called it." He said in a hushed voice. Obviously, when someone tells you not to look, you look anyway. Okay.
Of course.
This is like Dirk is addressing us.
Yeah.
Obviously, when someone tells you not to look, you look anyway. This is like the Flash. You know the early episodes of the Flash where he's narrating to the audience.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it. Obviously, when someone tells you not to look, you look anyway. And Daenerys had always been an inquisitive soul. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's tally up the. Let's make a tally here. Okay, let me read this part here, and then we'll make the tally. With quick look over her shoulder, the words Sir Jamie had uttered were confirmed. Viserys, along with Prince Quentin and Sir Gerald, were having what looked like a rather interesting conversation with their nephew and niece, Aegon and Rhaenys. The pair of them were accompanied by their Kingsguard, Sir Barristan and Sir Jonathor. So,
Where's the Viserys Kingsguard?
I'm guessing, isn't this his Kingsguard? I don't know.
Said he's in the Kingsguard.
I guess he doesn't have one. But anyway, so
He doesn't get one. He's not important enough.
Daenerys is. We already went past Daenerys supposedly being a good person. We already disproved that instantly. But let's go over Daenerys being smart. So, Jamie puts his arms around her, ushers her towards the stables at the bottom of the hill. This indicates a sense of urgency. He tells her not to look, and he says he's seen the 3 people she's been avoiding. What would be the smart reaction?
Turn around.
No, I mean he's leading her away.
Oh.
To keep going and let him lead her away would be the smart.
Yes, he's leading her towards the stables at the bottom of the hill. The smart thing to do would be to go to the stables, get on a horse, and ride. Just ride. And just be like, I wanted to ride, and I had Sir Jamie with me, so I thought it would be fine. Right? But Daenerys, he looks anyway.
Stops and turns and looks.
I'm not sure if she stops, but she quickly looks over her shoulder. But I'm guessing they're going to stop them. But we'll see. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I can't
Are we
hear
even
myself.
halfway through the chapter?
No, we're almost.
Dylan, mute yourself. Thank you. Oof. That was destroying me. Like, I thought my echo with you was strong, but with Dylan, it was like hearing myself speak at full volume. This is why you need a computer, buddy. I'm just kidding. This is why you need earphones. That's what you need. With her mind already made up, she hurried her steps and approached the stables. Oh, okay, she's actually being smart. Okay, I take it back. She is not stupid. A
Not
visit to the
completely, anyway.
not completely, yes. She made the mistake of
not a
looking.
good guy.
What?
She's just not a good guy.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, but I mean, I saw this look anyway, and I figured she would stop and they would come and have a conversation, right? But yes, this is my mistake here. A visit to the orphanage sounded like a wonderful idea right about now. She entered the stables with Sir Jamie close by and walked up to her horse, a light gray, almost white mare called Silver, a name day gift from her mother 3 years ago.
Why does she still have
Go on, say it.
So why does she still have her silver? That was a gift from Drogo in canon. And it's only called silver because the Dothraki don't name their horses.
Yep. And, you know, it's the same reason why Viserys is a bad guy here.
Because he wants to.
Because Dirk just can't figure out how to write a story without making things diverge. He's not.
It's the same way John's probably going to get Ghost no matter where he is.
Yep. You're right. With her mounted on Silver and Sir Jamie on his brown stallion, they both left the Red Keep into the busyness of the city to, ironically, seek some peace and quiet from some of the inhabitants of her home. Oop, Arya. You just drink some water. All right. Arya Stark, sit back down right now, came the annoyed cry from Septim Dane. She completely ignored her as she exited the room. Even her last warning from the old bat fell on deaf ears. Sewing fishes into little bits of fabric was the last thing she wanted to be doing right now. Fishes.
Fish? There's no pearl. No.
Fish actually isn't wrong in some context.
Is it right?
Mute yourself. Thank you. Only unmute when you ask questions because this is killing me, buddy.
Yeah, fishes could be correct if they're in certain contexts, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's not what I mean, though. Arya Stark is sewing fish into fabric. Stark.
Yeah.
Not Tully.
Okay, yeah.
Like, why is Septim Dane making a person of House Stark sew another house's sigil into bits of fabric? She is not a Tully. Yep, this is another way you can tell this dude does not understand. He does not understand.
He's read a lot of fics where Septim Dane is a bad person because she mistreats Arya, and so now he's putting it into his works.
If you were writing Septim Dane correctly, Dirk, she would be making her sue a direwolf. Because Septim Dane, while she's loyal to Catelyn, she is not stupid. She understands she is living in the north with a great house. And their name is Stark. Their name is not Tully. Like, I understand showing respect to the parent family. Maybe she's making a Tully, like, if they wrote in the scene at any point in the scene, if Septim Dane or Sansa talk about making a fish sigil
for her mother's family,
yeah, like for the Blackfish, for Edmure, for Hoster, sure. Even for Catelyn, this is unacceptable because Catelyn marries into the House Stark and becomes Catelyn Stark. And
it's not Catelyn Tully Stark, it is Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, she is no longer a Tully. It's over.
There is no hyphenation in Westeros.
Yeah.
Unless you're Cersei.
Unless you're Cersei. and she does whatever she wants, and blows people up. Uh, she'd rather be climbing with Bran or sparring in the Godswood with Rickon with any of the sticks they could find. What she really wanted to do was find out what had got her mother and father in such a state recently. Whatever it was surely involved Robb, since he was always in his father's solar as of late. He was heading outside to look for Bran or Rickon when Jory, captain of the household guard, walked past, giving her a small grin and shaking his head. Skipping lessons again. He was gonna say, my lady. Skipping lessons again, Arya. Wouldn't it be easier to just tough them out so you can at least avoid your septas and your mother's ire? He said. She shrugged as she passed him and shouted over her shoulder. Not really. It's fun to see how red in the face I can make them go. Mother gets very annoyed, but Septim Ordained is the best. I've gotten into the deep reds with her now. I can't be far off purple now, surely. Oh, this is so Vernon Dursley. It's not even
I'm about
funny.
to say.
She said with that grin that seemed to work on most people apart from her parents. Jory, captain of the household guard, just chuckled. Before she opened the door to the courtyard, she shouted back at him. Jory, do you know where Bran and Rickon are? Where do you think? They're in their lessons like you should be, you little troublemaker, came his amused reply. She liked Jory, captain of the household guard. He was her favorite guard around Winterfell. Yes, that's why he's the captain.
He's her father's favorite guard, too.
Hell yeah. He does everything. It was two things about him that stood out, really. First, he could actually take a joke and have a laugh, unlike some people around here. I wonder who. And second, whenever he caught her messing around with sticks to the Godswood or wherever, he would actually give her pointers and tips instead of snatching her fun away and sending her to her mother. She rolled her eyes and huffed at his answer, though of course they'd be in lessons. Fine, I guess I'll go find someone else to bug, she said. Bug. He laughed at that and turned around to head off to wherever it is guards go. You could just go back to your lessons, he said over his shoulder.
If he was really good at his job, he would have just sent her back to her lesson.
Oh, yes. He's very bad at his job, though. Wait, are you still writing things in the private chat with the casting?
Maybe.
Jesus Christ, man. Wow. All right. Moving on.
I assume the echo is gone.
It seems to be. I don't know what you did there, but that's
headphones.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Sod off. Just give me a moment here. Okay. Sod off, because that's something you say all the time here. What was all she said as she opened the door and breathed in the cool northern air? She heard Jory, captain of the household guard, laugh one more time before rounding a corner, and that was the end of that. She eyed the yard in search of her two younger brothers, but that was empty apart from a few guards sparring, one of which was still sporting a crooked nose.
Oh, God.
That her brother had so kindly gifted him with. Her face fell when thinking about him, but recovered quickly before she fell down that hole of misery. Imagine looking at someone who's been attacked, had his nose broken, and then she finds it funny.
Well, it could look funny. You never know how it healed.
I mean, the nose could look funny, but she finds the fact that Jon broke his nose funny. This is one of the guards. This is the dude that Jon was fighting, one of the three guards, and he broke his nose.
Why did they get into that fight again?
I think Jon bumped into them and didn't apologize or something.
Oh yeah, it was Jon being a dick.
Yeah, it was Jon being a dick and then getting into a fight and beating them up. And Arya's view of this is that it's funny.
Because Jon can do no wrong.
Of course he can't.
Well, it's not. She doesn't specifically say that it's funny, but like
She's
Crooked knows
thinking
that her
about
brother had the way this is written. Her brother had so kindly gifted him with kindly gifted him. So she's putting John on the right side and the guard on the wrong side, and basically making fun of the guard in that way.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not the time for thinking about him right now. That comes one random night of the month where I can bury my face in my pillow before letting it all out. One random night of the month? What?
Okay.
Not even sure what to think about. Oh, whatever. Let's just pretend this wasn't written. With a deep breath to center herself, we're back to the breaths. She headed up towards the Maester's turret, where Bran and Rickon were no doubt receiving their boring lessons from Maester Lewin. U, not E. She liked Maester Lewin, but he didn't have. He didn't have drone on some. I'm guessing, but he didn't have to drone sometimes. That's my best guess. She entered the turret and bolted up the stairs 2 at a time. It wasn't long before she was reaching the top, and pressing her ear to the door was the Maester's room. All she heard was a monotonous voice speaking, the words of which she couldn't decipher for herself. She decided to knock on the door and hope for the best with the whole situation. Why?
I doubt Maester Lewin is monotonous in his teaching.
Yeah, I highly doubt that as well. It's just the fact that children just don't want to learn. Look, a child wants to run around. They don't want to sit down.
Yeah.
And just look at a piece of paper all the time. Maester Lewin was the one to answer the door, as to be expected. Useless sense. Lady Arya, this is an unusual surprise, especially since, just like the boys here, you're supposed to be in your lessons. The Maester said in a somewhat amused tone. She got up on her tiptoes in an attempt to look over the old man's shoulder to see what her brothers were doing. Unfortunately, her small height had once again betrayed her, and her straining was in vain. With a huff, she planted her feet back down on the floor and looked up at the Maester, who had an eyebrow quirked. No doubt waiting for an explanation for her appearance. I've just come to see what Bran and Rick are up to. Rick, she said in the most innocent voice she could muster. Unfortunately for her, absolutely nobody in Winterfell fell for her act.
To be fair, nicknames are a common thing, so shortening Recon's name isn't.
Have they ever done it in canon?
It's never been done, but.
Are nicknames a common thing in canon?
Yeah, Ned.
Some nicknames are.
But yeah, nicknames are very common.
Nicknames are common, but Rickon was never common. It's like
Rickon
calling
was
John
never
Jonathan.
given a nickname.
It's like Harry being called
Adrian?
What was it? Adrian, or like Harold, or Harrison, or whatever. Like, just yeah. Rick. Again, you should be in your lessons with Septim Ordain, young lady. What would Lady Stark say if she found out you've skipped another lesson this week? Lewin questioned. I finished early.
It's John's fault.
Yeah, pretty much. Finished early, she lied. And I wanted to see if Bran and Rick had finished too, she said as she smiled up at Lewin. Finished! Rickon yelled from within the Maester's room as he emerged from the gap between Lewin and the doorframe and slapped a piece of parchment into the Maester's hands. Maester Lewin didn't even get chance to speak with the boy, as he'd already shot down the stairs whilst furiously giggling at something that had clearly tickled him.
What?
Isn't he supposed to wait for Lewin to say, "Good job, now you can go"?
Yeah, probably.
Also, isn't Recon like 3?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years, right? He's 6 now. I know, it's stupid. Between the gaps, she could. I mean, it's about as smart as Gohan being like fucking planet destroyer level at at age 6. 'Cause
Or
that's when he fought Frieza.
or beating Cell instead of Goku at age 12.
Wasn't it age 9?
No, I thought it was age 12.
Definitely age 9. Age 12 is for the Western anime version. In the timeline, he was age 11 at best. Actually, no, 10, because what happened was he was 6 when he fought Frieza. Then 3 years pass, the androids, and then he spends a year in the chamber, so he's 10.
Yeah, he's
3
10.
1.
I looked it up. He's 10.
Like 10 years old. I mean, that's how ridiculous that story plot is. But, for the sake of it, warrior race, blah, 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 super smart, etc. But Bran, at 6 years old, doing this, like, it was dumb in Dragon Ball. It's also dumb here.
Yeah.
Bran seemed to be the other one. Okay. Okay, no, I didn't even do this.
Don't
between the gap-
Saiyans mature
What?
faster,
No.
fighting wise?
Fighting wise, they keep their adult body until they're very old. Like they don't do the aging process until they're very old. And in terms of growth spurt, they're very short, and then they have a massive growth spurt, and then they become big.
Unless you're Vegeta.
No, same thing. I mean, look, he became bigger than he was before, but he's still very short. Yes. But Vegeta is strong because he has a receding hairline. He's not full on Saitama. He didn't lose all of his hair. He's got a little bit going back. This is why he's very strong.
Then Krillin should be the strongest character.
No, because Krillin
There's
shaves
difference
his head.
between losing your hair and being bald.
Yeah, Krillin shaves his head. He's not bald. Yep. Anyway, between the gaps, you could see Bran still writing at a table in the middle of the room. He gave her a wave and a smile before looking back down at his work. Bran seemed to be the only one out of them all who actually enjoyed Maester Lewin's lessons, somehow. Oh, that little she
Damn
heard
it,
after she...
Dylan.
What is it?
I just read some of the things in private chat.
Dude, you should put those all in a single paragraph because this is gonna take a while.
Fred
to
as
look at.
Renly and George as Loris.
Oh, what the hell, man? What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to make the crackiest ones I can.
That is
Damn
awful.
it, Dylan.
Would that even count as masturbation at that point?
Now, to be fair, they've been inserted into the story. The story doesn't have to go the same.
I'm sorry, man. No, it will go the same. Anyway. She heard after she'd returned the wave Bran sent her with one of her own. She quirked her eyebrow yet again at the old man, almost daring him to finish his sentence. I'm getting sick of seeing this. This is the new they were sat. You and that boy are going to be the death of me, mark my words, he said as he shook his head. She looked at the piece of paper Rickon had given him and couldn't stop the laugh that he burst from her. Rickon had drawn a picture of a dog or a wolf. She couldn't tell. All she did know is that it seemed to have one too many limbs that happened to be pooping on a person who looked remarkably like a septa. He'd even signed his name at the bottom. Whoa.
Okay.
I like this drawing. This kid has a future. He signed his name at the bottom. I want everyone to know that our data is being pooped on. Oh, shit. The stern look Maester Lewin was giving her made her rein in the laughter. She cleared her throat and composed herself. Maester Lewin, are you gonna keep that, or can I have it? She asked. It was a work of art, and it would look splendid on the wall in her chambers. He shook his head and muttered something under his breath before replying, Yes, I'll be keeping it. And no, you cannot have it. No, you can't have it. Lord Stark will probably want to see this, he said. She couldn't help it when she replied, Why? Does he need visual guidance on how to poop on a septa? Alright. Just copy these two. Just do a little out of context dumpster fire. Here we go. Back to the story. She said and didn't wait for a response. She was already halfway down the stairs when Maester Lewin shouted, You're not funny, are you, Stark? Your parents will be hearing about this. Oh no. My father will hear about this. I mean, when did Maester Lewin channel his inner Draco? Your father will hear about this, is all she heard as she exited the tower. She laughed as she broke out into the fresh air and didn't take her long to notice Rick sat on a barrel. Oh, I thought we escaped it.
No, it was too good to be true.
It didn't take her long to notice Rick sat on a barrel across from her, munching on an apple with a massive grin on his face. We are so dead when Mother and Father find out what we did, Rickon explained as he jumped off the barrel. Where did you get that apple, Rick? She asked. Found it on Maester Lewin's desk, he said before taking another big bite out of said apple.
It's very well spoken for a 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm. She quirked an eyebrow at him as they started walking off towards the Godswood. Found it or stole it? She asked. He shrugged his shoulders and answered with a mouthful. I don't know. It was just there and nobody else was eating it. She shook her head and smiled as they walked under the arch that led to the Godswood. Rickon was so random sometimes. Oh my god, Rickon's so random. He's so random, guys.
One of my sisters went through the I'm so random phase.
I do not doubt this. I do not doubt this at all. I liked your picture, by the way. You have a talent. I tried to retrieve it to keep it for myself. Retrieve it? But Lewin seemed to grow attached to it rather quickly. This is what I mean by you have to read what you're writing. Arya is a child, and she's saying words like retrieve it, and like Lewin seemed to grow attached to it rather quickly. It could have just been saying, I tried to get it, but Maester Lewin didn't let me. But instead she said this. This is not in keeping with how Arya speaks.
No.
You'll have to draw another one for me so I can put it on my wall, she said as she smiled at her little brother. Even at the mere age of 5, okay, he's 5 years old, he was still shaping up to be her perfect partner in crime. Dylan didn't get a chance to answer her request because she was dragging him into the thick bush surrounding the grove as soon as she heard the raised voices coming from near the heart tree. She put her finger on her lips, and Rickon did the same as she listened in on what was being said. Are you sure? She heard somebody say. It sounded like Robb. I'm almost certain, Robb. Lord Karstark received a ransom note anonymously, but has already made up his mind. He believes it's Lord Bolton's bastard, and he's already threatening to go to war with House Bolton because of it. This needs to get settled as quickly as possible before any war can be declared, so I'm rounding up some of our best hunters and fighters in the north, and we're going to hunt this monster down. Mark my words. Her father seemed to growl. Yeah. I'll kill him. I'll kill him if he's done anything to her. That's a promise, father, Robb almost shouted. What in the world happened to get Robb so worked up? done anything to her? Who's her? I think you mean who's she, Arya Stark. Supposedly speaking very smart here, but she can't speak correctly in her own mind. Inconsistency like this are what I notice.
Well, whose
Even
her could have worked if like they had put the her in single quotes.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe. I would say maybe.
Yeah,
But
that's why I said could, not would have worked. Like,
definitely she would be smart.
She
I
is
put
definitely
most of them in one paragraph, but the paragraph got too long, so I had to split it.
All right. We'll get him, Rob. I promise you that, her father replied. I know we will, because I'm going, and I'll put him in the ground myself, Rob declared. Rob, no, father, this isn't up for discussion. That cretin has kidnapped my betrothed. What kind of person would I be if I just sat back and did nothing? Well, at least you'd be better than a person who was sat back, because this is now being used correctly. How could anyone respect a lord like that? Rob forced out. She'd never heard Rob speak to their father in such a tone before. Whatever his father's response was gonna be was lost to the wind as a guard seemed to rush into the grove shouting. Lord Stark, a note from Lady Stark. Lady Arya ran off from her lessons and hasn't been seen since. The guard huffed out as he caught his breath. Oh, okay. You need to run, buddy. This isn't something you need to run for. Shit. She eyed Rickon, who was doing a bad job at keeping the grin off his face. You're in trouble, he whispered out. Wait, no. You're in trouble, he whispered out. Big trouble, in trouble indeed, and by the sounds of her father and brother's heated conversation, she wasn't the only one. The chapter is officially over. It's been 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. But we did it.
Also, knowing that Rickon is 5, I call BS on his speech.
Yeah, I do too.
I've got
Very
a 5-year-old.
rarely.
I have a 5-year-old nephew. 5-year-olds do not speak that well.
No, you're right. Very rarely do they actually speak like that. And generally, the kids who are that age, who reach that level of dialogue, they are geniuses.
Yes.
Essentially. Now let us see the comments. This is amazing. 2018 by Lightstorm. It's probably Dylan's alt account.
No, my account for AO3 is Dylan the Demon.
Next time, update fast, please.
Alt account.
I think.
I said alt account though, buddy.
No,
be aiming. What?
My account for AO3 is Lucifer Bale.
Of course it is. When Jon is candid, it's always entertaining. Hope Dany can get out of the situation Viserys is trying to put her in. Great chapter. I can't see. Even the readers don't actually get it. Hope Dany can get out of the situation Viserys is trying to put her in. But apparently, like, there's absolutely no empathy for Viserys being put in a situation against his will.
Right?
I doubt anyone will even point it out.
Why would they?
Dirk, wonderful chapter. Personally, I think that the more you take, even if you spend doing it something else, a similar story, even better. The more time you take. Yeah, because you know he took more time to write the story. That's why it took so long. It's not that he was doing something else and then realized he probably needs to update. I enjoy how you wrote Ashar's perspective and how Jon reflects on his past like a human, not always wanting to delve into memories that have baggage. I have a few questions. How long will Jon be in Dorne? And will he spend all of it with the Danes at Starfall? If Jon was told he has dragon blood in him, why still check to see if Ashara Dane is his mother? Will he show off his dragon?
That is a good question.
That is indeed a good question. But this person still thinks it's a wonderful chapter. Will he show off his dragon to Clarissa? Obviously he will, because she's asking about it. With Ashara as
Gonna
someone
show
who
her
was
the
a
dragon.
He'll show her a dragon.
Hey, well, Ashara as someone who was a handmaiden to Elia, thereby near Rhaegar, be able to see some Valyrian features in Jon. Are we going to see Ramsay at all, or just his corpse? To be fair, I'm fine with either. Oh, okay.
Now, Ramsay's a well-written character.
I'm not going to read this because it spoils it. Great chapter. Update quick, Lamau. Glad to see this updated. Can't wait to see how Jon will find out the truth, and I hope they rescue Alice quickly. Great chapter, as always. Look forward to every update. Keep up the amazing work. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Oh, this must be Myth.
No. Mine is Mythology 216.
This is probably also you. Well done on such another great chapter. Can't wait to read the next update. I swear to God, Myth, if I actually find your name in this list here at some point, I'm not going to let you live it down. Ever.
I don't think I commented. I know I left kudos.
Great chapter. What chapter is Jon going to make his grand reappearance to his Stark and Targaryen family? I'm not going to look at that. Can Jon kill Viserys and maybe take Arianne for himself? I could totally see that happening. Let's face it, Viserys is probably less than stellar as a husband. See what I mean? Absolute lack of empathy.
Right?
Absolute lack of empathy. Like, these people are insane. Like, this is someone I would not want to associate with in real life, because this is their thought process is something you want to avoid at all costs. This is someone who's crazy. All right, just a quick comment this time around. Say well done, another great chapter. I spent a bit of time trying to wrap my brain around how Ashara and Clarissa are actually related to Jon before eventually giving up. Family trees are confused. What? They're cousins. Jeez. Clarissa is Ned Stark's daughter. Ned Stark is his uncle. Therefore, they are cousins.
People don't understand this.
And from this guy's name, it sounds like he writes stories. But he can't grasp the concept of a cousin. I don't even know how to start this one. This is stupidity on a level that I can't fathom. Will there be an update today? Okay, calm down. Your character's dialogue is too modern. Jon speaks like a 21st century American when he should sound like a person from the medieval era. Using modern words like yeah or okay is jarring, as is using modern Western colloquialism as rain on your parade. Yes? Story would be much improved by changing the dialogue and not sound so modern. Yep. Finally, someone who actually cottons on one part of the problem. He still didn't mention the fact that, there's absolutely no understanding of the characters at all. It's so fucking dumb. Let's see. Private chat. Let me read this whole thing in one shot. So, you thought it'd be a good idea to cast Harry Potter characters into this story here. Colin Creevey as Rickon, Neville as Jory, Fudge as Bobby B.
Robert Baratheon.
Oh, Robert Baratheon. Okay. Minerva as Septim Ordain. Ew. George as Loras. Fred as Renly. Ew. Ginny as Sansa. Ew. Lucius as Peter. Daphne as Danny. Griphook as Nicolette. The heck? Norbert as Drogon. It's Norberta. Thank you very much. The female dragon. Reacher as the Night King. Fluffy as Ghost. Okay, I like that. Astoria as Arya. Dudley as Rob. Oh no, why? Wouldn't Dudley be
Joffrey.
Greyjoy? No. I mean, yeah,
Theon?
Joffrey would work. Theon or Joffrey. Vernon as Ned. Ew. Snape as Viserys. Hagrid as Hodor. Oh no. No, Hagrid is a smart character. Don't make fun of him.
Just because he got expelled in third year doesn't
I
mean he's
was
dumb.
I wasn't making fun of his intelligence. It was the size.
Oh, okay. Euron as Bella. What? I mean, sure. The Mountain as Greyback. Okay. Tywin as Voldemort. I don't know about that one. Tywin would be Dumbledore.
Yeah.
But then again, that one would be fanfic version of Dumbledore. Never mind. Tywin would be more Grindelwald, to be honest. Because he's the vicious one. Petunia as Thundercunt, okay. Alistair Moody as Jamie. Oh, I don't know about that one. They're both good fighters, but like Jamie is not a grizzled fighter.
Moody is. I could see Moody as more of a Barristan. They're both the literal peak.
Yeah. Dolores Umbridge is Cersei. Ew. Why not Narcissa Malfoy? By the way, rest in peace the actress who played Narcissa Malfoy. She died a while ago. So
Yep.
Did not know that.
very sad. Grindelwald as Varys? No. No. Terrible. Varys would be Lavender Brown because she always has all the gossip
And perfume.
and perfume. That's right. Ron as John Connington. Why? Because they're both redheads. Harry is John. Dumbledore is Barristan. No, I would put Dumbledore as Aemon. Aemon Targaryen.
Yeah.
Maester Aemon.
I can see
I mean,
that.
I could have kept going.
Probably better that you didn't. Anyway,
Yeah.
this chapter was bananas.
I also put something on Discord you might want to see.
Oh dear.
No.
Or is it dumpster fires?
No, Chosen.
We look at dumpster fires first, though. Another great fight scene. Fights like that are tedious to. Let me just open the original and just copy paste it into the browser here so that people can see this. Because I think they get bored. Fights like that are tedious to write out and even more boring to read. Sometimes even confusing and difficult to follow. But most everyone here has played the games and know very well what a kill streak looks like. And if you don't, there's plenty of videos on YouTube. Epic laziness.
That was in a story I read a few months ago.
Laziness on another level, that is. Hey, let's see. What's in Chosen? Oh my god, you think I'm actually going to read this?
No, just look at the circled part.
Okay, let me just copy paste
Now
this
that
into
way,
the browser.
it's me. It's my kudos.
Oh my
I
god.
already admitted to doing.
Oh my, no, let's zoom in on this. Zoom in a little bit. Oh my god, look at that. Oh no. Oh no. Why, dude? Why?
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's terrible.
You can never say I have bad taste in stories with this being on the internet.
No, I can always say you have bad taste in
No,
stories.
I'm saying Myth can't anymore.
I
Okay.
mean, sure I can. At
Well,
least
you
I
can.
admit my taste is trash.
Yeah. What he said. So,
But look at that. Ain't that beautiful?
that's just. I don't even know. My heart is broken.
So was mine when I did this. It was just after season 8. That's
You are
my
joined.
defense, and I'm sticking to it.
You are joined by fine company. Caitlin Rose 97, Phoenix 199, Shinju Angel, Ignition 12, Royal Tech 1. These are all your compatriots here.
His heart's not as broken as Goyle's was when he woke up as the Hound.
Sure.
Sister of Dragons.
The Majestic Fish. These are all your compatriots. Ghost Queen 24.
Immortal
There
Warrior
is-
Princess.
There is over 1,500 kudos on this.
Not surprising. It's old and people. It's the heck is this? Does your phone have special fonts?
What? No.
Why does the 69 look weird?
It doesn't.
It's a weird looking
Yeah.
6. Also, congrats on the 69, by the way. 69. That's good. It's funny. I'm funny. Romance Addict 95.
Reading and reading.
Yep.
Silver cheese.
Yep. Silver
Are you
cheese.
sure that's not you, Dylan?
I'm
That's
sure.
probably Dylan.
Anakin
found Dylan.
Lucifer Skywalker?
Lucifer Sky. Ah!
Wait, where? Oh, shit.
You're in there. Ah, we found you. Got him, coach. Dylan. You crack me up sometimes, man.
Storm Chaser?
Yeah, it's probably Brile.
Probably.
Like Hermione.
Obviously not. She wouldn't read this shit.
God, this is depressing to look at.
How many favorites do you have on your story?
Which one?
Let's go with Lightning Dragon Roar.
Yeah, let's look.
I want to see if it's more than the kudos he's gotten.
Hold on for a second here. Copy this. Forget that it opens up a new window. Oh yes, I have a book. You all should buy it. Go buy it. It's in the link in the description. Go buy it. Okay, there we go.
You really should. It's a good book.
It's a good book. You should definitely. But in all honesty, I think you should definitely get it. Anyway, kudos are likes, right?
Yeah,
All right, 5,125.
you've got more than him. Good.
I mean, obviously. Literally anything I do is better than him. Even my worst story has 2,341.
It would have been horrible if he had more likes than you.
I highly doubt that's even possible because look at all the other stories. Like, if you count all of these together, 5,125, 2,341, 8,190, 3,709, 4,970. Holy crap! Oh no, that's follows. 3,763. I have a lot.
Yeah.
I had so
Wait.
many likes. I joined a server that that ranked people by the number of follows or likes that they have, and I immediately got number 1. And I was like, oh okay. And I left soon after.
Wait, does he have multiple stories?
I don't think so. Let's see. Roll up. Circuit full of
Nope,
errors.
only one work.
Oh, he just has this.
Okay, good.
Oh wait, he has 6,500 kudos. What are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
6,516 kudos.
Yep,
Yeah.
guests. I forgot about guests.
Hey, dude. Anywho, I'd say that's it for the stream.
Yep, that was fun.
That was very
that
fun.
was an experience.
It was you know, if you guys felt like you wanted to hurt yourself, please don't do it. But I understand where you're coming from, but do not do it.
Go think
not
of Creature as the Night King.
Yes. Sure. The next chapter will be named
The
Hard,
bastard.
hard Truth.
Hard truth.
So it's probably going to get hard. The rising
course.
sun is going to get hard, obviously. Anyway,
I mean, when isn't he?
I don't have an answer for that because I don't think he's ever not.
Ugh.
With that said, I shall now go into the end part of the stream and thank people for coming. And tell them that I'm hungry and I want to go eat. Wait, no, that's not what I should say. I should say something more like, if you like the video, you should smash that like button like I smash my self-esteem every single time in the morning when I look in the mirror.
Smash that like button like John's gonna smash a shower.
Yes.
And Clarissa.
And,
At the same
Daenerys.
time.
At the same
And
time. Whoa.
Let's throw the Thundercut in there just for some revenge.
Oh, man. Revenge porn. Oh. Like it. All right. Now to make this awkward for a little while before I decide to finally click the button that makes everybody leave. I feel like watching that cringe video with the vaccine stuff, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Did you see it, Master
yes.
M?
What? I don't know what you're.
The cringe vaccine video. Oh, you're gonna need to watch this. All right. Just prepare yourself. All right. I'm gonna have to share audio, so give me a second here to set this stuff up. Stop that, and then share screen again, and I have to share the specific Chrome tab with audio so you don't hear yourself talking. Share audio, and then let me find the Twitter link. You are definitely gonna cringe at this one. Somewhere in memes, I just have to scroll up to find it. God, so many memes have been since I did that. Whoa. Okay, there it is. Copy link. Paste it in here. Are you ready? I'm gonna pause this for a second. You ready, buddy?
Yep.
All right. Let me know if you don't hear anything.
Yeah, I want that herd immunity. I'm pulling up my sleeve. I'm signing up on the side. We'll party as a nation when we get immunization, maybe by the 4th of July. Hugging on my mind, giving you high fives, getting close to normal life. I'm feeling like I need a little antibody boost to inoculate me at the perfect time. It's Pfizer, Moderna, baby, J&J. I'm vaccinated. The way I feel is liberated. Yeah. I got you. First shot, next shot. So hot, I need you. All right, no more quarantine. I'm vaccinating you. First shot, next shot. So hot, I need you. All right, come inside with me. I'm vaccinating.
How did you feel about that? Just
What?
you
What?
My reaction exactly. What did I just watch? Now read this here.
This is the second video I've seen with this lady about vaccines. She alone is going to create anti-vaxxers by the power of cringe. They're not wrong.
Please stop. Oh, please no. All seasons of The Office, US, UK, will not prepare you for this level of cringe. Alright. For the one person who's been hanging out so far with us, I'm sorry I subjected you to that. It was necessary. This is a cringe stream. This is what we do here. Alright? But I'm glad you sat through that. Thank you. And with that said, I am now going to end the stream. My friends, I will see you on the Discord.
I will see you on the Discord.
Farewell.
Fare thee well.
I guess I should thank you. But that'd be out of character. Maybe you should just throw an insult my way instead. Yeah, that sounds better. Still, I owe you.
Goodbye, everyone.